Hello, everybody. This is Arsenal Fan Circle. This is the Thursday night forum, and we got a win tonight, right? Good thing.
Yay!
Gotta celebrate these wins. Um, got Gary, I've got Tony up top,
Hello, everyone.
and Sam,
That's what I'm
oh,
going.
Sam and Alonso down bottom.
Good evening.
Good
Good
evening.
morning. Good afternoon. Wherever you're at.
So, Tony had an unfortunate circumstance. He lost his grandmother a couple of days ago. So this is going to be a podcast dedicated to Tony's grandmother. So
Coors Banquet beers for everyone.
That's good.
Rora's banquet beers for everyone. So Tony, you want to say a few words about your grand, or are you just happy to keep moving, or however you feel about it?
I'll say something at the end.
Go ahead.
I said I'll say something at the end, not right
Oh,
now.
at the end. Okay, so we'll gather that up at the end. And thanks for joining us. It can also be you got four brothers here with you to get you through the podcast. So listen, I'll go clockwise. Gary, let's start with the lineups, right?
Let's.
Do we have to?
What was initial thoughts of the lineup? And I had predicted a lineup, and I got it absolutely correct. Probably apart from Pepe, although I did.
That isn't absolutely correct then, right?
Yeah,
No,
how does
not
that work?
absolutely.
I was wrong, but I was right.
I'm sort of tuning myself into Mikel Arteta. I don't know if that's good or bad.
No, you don't
That
want
is
to do that.
very bad, right?
You don't want to
When
do
you
that.
start sprouting Lego hair, you need to go
His
to
hair's
the
gonna,
doctor.
his hair's gonna turn black, and he's gonna start, letting the hair grow on his face, and black jackets, and all that kind of stuff. And
So yeah, outside of I thought Pepe would start, but Willian did start. Not surprised, and obviously was thinking Pablo Mari had done well at the weekend, but Gabriel came in. Gary.
yeah, well, I know many have been calling for. Let's figure out what is our best center back
11.
pairing, and I
Right.
don't think. Am I still here?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're here.
Yeah.
Did I freeze, or did you guys
Nah.
freeze?
Right,
I guess we
okay.
froze.
It froze on my side over here. But yeah, everybody's been asking for what is our best center back pairing. Not
Our
sure
two
we know.
lefties.
Not
Our
sure we
two
know that
lefties.
just yet because it keeps changing every game. It seems every game, right? I don't know how many times we've had the same center back pairing in back-to-back games. I'd like to see the one pairing that we haven't really seen, which is the Gabriel Murray pairing. But once again, so we switched that up again. Gabriel, I guess we'll get into it later how he played, but on the wing backs or the fullbacks, whatever the position is, I guess they call them. Tierney expected to see him in there and hopefully see him improve from previous games that he's been playing, and then surprise, Bellerin goes right back. All right. Cedric was out last week, or wasn't even on the bench and wasn't on the team sheet. He was on the bench this week, right?
Yeah.
He
He did make the substitutes bench.
He made the bench today, but he wasn't starting. So this midfield, I guess we expect that. We'd like to see Ceballos maybe play with Partey and see if that can work. But Xhaka seems to be his preferred mid-back pairing, so we'll take that.
He wants to see people dribble a ball straight to the opponents in the first 10 minutes of a game.
Erdiger in the middle. Am I saying it right still?
No.
Erdiger? No.
Nearly. The good.
Erdigerd. Gerd?
Gore. Think of gore as in gore in a horror film. The gore.
Gord. All right. Erdigerd. Gore. I said it wrong again. He's in the middle, and you know what? I like him. So
he'll
stay until Milsford healthy, and then I like to see that battle go back and forth because they both bring, I think, a little bit something different to the game, to that 10. So we'll take it. Saka and Willian. Pepe. What does Pepe got to do? He improves his game. He does all the things I think he's been asked to do, and still can't get in there when we want to win a game. So Saka, hopefully we're going to see a better Saka today. That's what the plan was coming in. If I'm going to go by what I was hoping to see, and then Aubameyang at top, and we'll see what he was going to do. All in all, he surprises us all the time. Who knew he was going to put all three of his sons on the field at the same time? Yeah. Right.
Sons of Arteta, Bellerin, Xhaka, Willian.
All of them got to play today.
I call them the trifecta of terror. I call them.
Yes.
Welcome in the assemble. Thanks for joining us, Gary. It's the new Arsenal. If it baffles you, imagine what it's doing to the opposition.
Yeah. They don't know who we're going to play. So I don't get it. I mean, at some point you're gonna have to find your 11, or maybe we're not this season. So,
outside of technical security, which is what he's going to say for Willian starting Tony, that may be Arteta's best 11, like it or not, at this point in time.
There is no way that is his best 11. No way.
You put Pepe or Martinelli in the left. You put Lacazette in the middle. You put Odegaard and.
It may not be our best 11, but it could be Arteta's best 11.
Yeah, but you know what? I guess we'll get into it. But we created some chances, but it's at some point we're gonna have. Today we needed to score. We needed to use our attack and actually score with it, and I don't think we did that today. So I don't know from the attacking side if he got what he wanted out of it. I understand that we did score 3 goals, but I don't think we created the chance. We didn't complete the chances that we had out there. So that's still an issue to me. So we're not expecting to get 3 screamers and a set piece in a game, but we are expecting at some point to put goals away, right? Because that's how we've been playing. Play these short margins, and today we actually were able to, make something out of nothing a couple times today. So that was good. So no, I mean the lineup was, like I said, definitely surprising. I would have liked to have seen something else, but I think he got what he wanted out of it in terms of the game. But this weekend we'll see. Maybe he's resting people. We thought he was resting Pepe for today's game, and I guess today we're going to think that he rested Pepe and Cedric for the next game. So we'll see.
Yeah, and look, Sam, we have to understand that it's a squad game right now. We've got 3 more games within the space of 9 days or 10 days. So Arteta's got to use the squad the best way that he sees fit.
Yeah, of course he does, but you would expect him to play the stronger players against the strong, the opposition that that we're going to be prioritizing, and then maybe the not so strong players against the opposition that we're not really prioritizing. So it seems like on paper it looks like you might be prioritizing the North London derby, but I just don't think that's true, because I don't think Arteta thinks that game is more important than this game for the club, because it's not. No. This game is much more important for so many reasons. Of course, not just the financial side, but you want to be in Europe. So that's why the whole setup surprised me last week with the way he decided to go with those players, and we could just see the rotation maybe going this way, and it's a bit surprising he hasn't rotated in a different order. But yeah, it is what it is. The team, the lineup was quite surprising.
How would I say it, Sam? You stole my words.
You can be captain of the podcast now.
Exactly, it is what it is, because this is an Arteta lineup. We're going to see his favourite sons that can never do any wrong. Xhaka can just fuck up all day long, and he'll get the next game no matter what. Luiz can fuck up every other game, and he'll just keep on playing, keep on trucking. And Bellerin, he just likes to bring in Bellerin for comic effects every now and again, I think. And That's what he did again today. I think he had an okay game, Bellerin, but he was out of position so many times. He was central midfield half the game. God knows what he was doing there.
Yeah.
What did Greg Willigan in for?
Yeah, you know what? The North London Derby's coming up, so he's going to be doing what he did there.
Cedric. I mean, if Cedric doesn't play against Tottenham on Sunday, I mean, if I was Cedric, I'd just go to Arteta and say, that's it. I'm going to fucking Legoland. I'm not going here anymore. This is it. So because it's just a joke at this point if he can't get a game ahead of Bellerin. But anyway, so he's obviously thinking he's going to save him, or I hope he's going to save him for the London Derby. And let's be honest. I'm going to be very, very truthful. Olympiacos are dog shit, right? They are dog shit. That team that played us today was very poor. It was a championship level side at best. They started off the first 20 minutes. They didn't even touch the ball. They played so narrow. I thought they was going to start playing like, I don't know what they was going to do. It was like a netball or something for a few minutes. They just let us have each flank just all to ourselves, and it's just really poor. We should have had a couple of goals quite early on. We had a couple of good chances early on, and Olympiacos are a poor side. The lineup was a bit baffling, and that's Arteta for you, isn't he? He likes to keep everyone guessing. And he likes to play his favourites like Xhaka. Xhaka can, I don't know what it is with that guy. He's never ever in need of a rest, and he can never do anything wrong. I mean, the guy could just fuck up all day long and he'll get the next game. No, 90 minutes, no worries. And that's Arteta for you. That's Mr. Progress.
That's Lego hair, man.
Yeah, perhaps it's our squad as well for you. You know what I mean?
Well, we don't have anyone else we can play. Seriously, El Neni came on, had a screamer. Mm-hmm. El Neni could play instead of that guy. I mean, there's if you listen. I'm not saying, obviously, I'm not saying because I understand that out of those who we have at the moment, he is not possibly. You have to play him at intervals because of the squad rotation, but he shouldn't be getting every single game. There are other players who can come in and play like El Neni.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Ceballos, once again today, he had a terrible game, unfortunately. But we didn't know that beforehand. He could have started the game maybe instead of Xhaka. There are other ways of there's more than one way to skin a cat, right? It's you're a top level manager. You're supposed to figure this out. If you know someone shouldn't be playing every single game, you figure that out, and that's what's baffling to me, and I think to a lot of other people as well. Is why does he keep playing every single game?
Let me hit you up with this theory, Sam. The best ability may be availability. That's the best.
You know what? Mentally, he's not there. He's not there every game, though. Mentally, he's not there every game because he switches off. Consistently, he switches off. We know we're going to see a red card. We're going to see something. He's done it. And that's players maybe playing too much, right?
Yeah,
he got a red card, probably playing too much after a while. Last week's, the Burnley game, a little blip there. Sometimes players mentally need to take a little break, right?
Exactly.
The best players in the world don't play every game, and there's a reason for that. Sometimes they need to chill out, right? And he needs to take a break. Yes, he's always available, but he needs to sit. I mean, he's not giving us anything, right? I don't know if you guys can see me, but I'm frozen over here. So the audio's coming through, but the video's a little screwed up here. But like I said, I think he needs to take a break because he's like a walking time bomb. You don't know when it's going to explode, right? And that's kind of one reason why I want him to sit. I don't think you're going to lose much with an El Neni or a Ceballos. And El Neni won't blow up because one, he doesn't play as much, and when he's out there, he's trying his hardest, which I don't know if Xhaka gives us 110%. I don't feel like he ever does that, and that's also maybe why he's always available because he doesn't go all out and play. Right?
Why does El Neni get so much stick though? I understand he's not top level, he's not world class.
Yeah,
I understand that, and sometimes he will give the ball away. But how many times has El Neni done the same fuck ups that Xhaka has? For me, El Neni is a much more stable midfielder than what Xhaka is. He might not be all bells and whistles, or he's not a Thomas Partey or a Pogba, but he does the job. I don't see why he can't come in for Xhaka, and relieve him for a game or two here and there. I just don't get it.
No, he's in the 70th percentile, but he brings you all 70% of it every game. I'd rather have that than 85%.
Yeah, you get a sense
know
of
what the fuck you're gonna
consistency
get.
from El Neni as well. But
just think about the way that he finished up that United game, right? El Neni. Have you ever seen Xhaka do something like that?
No,
ever.
Never. Xhaka slow. Xhaka is slow in his play, slow in his pace. Watching him trying to run down Tielemans, against Leicester my God, it was like watching an old man trying to run after a toddler.
If he kept going, he might have been able to at least distract him from what he was doing. But he always pulls up when he gets close, and you're like, you just want to be there. He wants to be there front row for the accident when it happens. He goes to NASCAR to see the wrecks, right? He gets a front seat just as he thinks there's something bad about to happen, and he gets a front row view. He's always there. You look at every bad shot, he's there.
And with all of that being said, Gary, we actually played and started off quite well. Probably could have been 2-0 up within the first 10, 15 minutes.
Yep.
Odegaard's got a great chance about 8-9 yards out. He sort of Pepe's it a little bit from the Burnley game.
Yeah,
I get to share my thoughts about the lineup before we get to that?
What?
So don't I get to have my thoughts about the lineup?
I thought you got a red card. You got a red card to start the day. So why do you get to say?
Sure, Tony. Let's hear your thoughts on the lineup.
My first thoughts were it's the Sons of Arteta lineup. My second thought was, does he draw names out of a hat, uses a D8 and rolls dice and picks them? There's no logic to the lineup at all. It just baffles me.
Yeah, really. And I think Sam disagrees, but I think there is one eye on the North London derby as well.
I think this is what Arteta thinks is his strongest lineup.
Yeah, I think it's pretty close to it. I mean,
and why? Then how is it a North London derby his priority if he's building the strongest team tonight?
Because I don't think you're going to see much variation from this lineup to Sunday. You might see one or two players. I don't see
insider knowledge to Lego man.
Yeah, just some dialed in. You know what I mean? Just starting to understand how he works and how he picks his lineups. So
yeah,
tune in for my lineup on Sunday. It'll be a mirror image.
So once again, you said it's for the because of the technical abilities of the team. Is that right?
Technical security of maintaining the ball for Willian. Willian has that. I mean, that's what he said before. So it's not a surprise anymore, right? That Willian is starting games over Pepe.
Technical security. What does that mean?
Means he can hold on. Right. He doesn't gamble with the ball as much. That's what it means. Pretty much.
Now we know why Ray has a brown nose.
All right, let's move on with the question I was posing to Gary. We started quite well, Gary. First 10, 15 minutes, 2 great chances.
Yeah, that's kind of been once again, we did start, like you said, we started out really strong, really on the front foot, trying to get in there and score early. And we had opportunities. They just weren't close, or we got unlucky, right? I think Aubameyang's header was early in that first half, or in the first half sometime. So we had opportunities. Once again, I'm like, do they go to finishing school? Because if Erdiger can make that kick from where he did and not be able to put the shot that he hit wide, I think he might have had 2 opportunities kind of in a short period of time. You're like, what's going on here? Because that was a rocket that he shot in there. So, but I mean, at some point we always talk about Arsenal trying to walk the ball in, but now I think we're not trying to do that, but we should be putting ourselves in getting getting goals out of all the work we're doing to get the ball to where it is. You know, we had some crosses that got caught out, but you know, I think we got lucky. Not lucky. They got lucky with Aubameyang's header, which is actually probably, you know, another. He doesn't create much power on his headers, and that one had a lot of fire behind it. And you know, I don't know if it doesn't hit, if it's able to get past Papa Socrates, I think it might go in. Right, I think it hits his back and kind of goes towards the goal. You know, goes towards the goalkeeper a little bit more. Whereas I think he was going for the near corner, I believe. So he might have got that one in. So, but you know what? I guess we want to see this more, right? So at some point they're going to get in, or we're just going to take our chances from outside and they're going to score our set pieces. So we want to have as many opportunities to score as we can. We just, at some point, they're not gonna, you know, those set pieces and long shots just won't work for us. But you know, because we've seen those same long shots from pretty much all those players. That's, you know, from both the players that scored today, and they're not always that close. So we'll see. Hopefully, they're, you know, Erdiger guard. You know, he can continue his shooting boots. Now I'm thinking about it, and it's not going to work.
Struggle with his Norwegian.
Colin Martin.
Call him Martin.
Listen, gotta get to this question from the assembly. He only wants me to answer. Ray, do you think this team is good enough to be Arsenal's best team? Yes or no? And no one else this time. Given the squad that we have, no. I would probably switch out about 3 positions here. I like Pablo Mari over Gabriel, but
Hey,
hey, will you stop talking over for a second? Wow. Pablo Mari I would prefer over Gabriel, although Gabriel did score the great header, and we do need goal-scoring defenders. The value of a goal-scoring defender can't be understated. I do agree with all of the other 3 here. Cedric is our best right back. And on the left side, I would like Pepe. You know, there is a great debate about whether to go with Xhaka, Ceballos, or Elneny to partner Partey. But yeah, that's how I feel about it. Gary, let's take the 3 mistakes Bargav wanted to get to. Let's talk about the Odegaard one first. It's just really a ball that's cut inside, and you know there's errant passes that are really damaging. This one was not terribly damaging because it was about 35, 40 yards out.
Yeah, I mean, you know, was it a bad kick? Was it he just didn't realize there was an offensive player there? You know, when he made that pass that close. And like you said, it happened couple of times. We've had a similar pass in our defensive third, putting pressure on our, you know, on our goalkeeper. I became speechless because I'm like, how, you know, we talked about mistakes, and we had basically 3 mistakes, and they were only able to take advantage of one of them, you know. And how many mistakes did they give us on the other side like that? And we're supposedly the better team, right? I think we have the better squad. They are not as good as we, you know, as many believe. So, you know, is that the players or is that the coaching? Because supposedly we have better players, so it can't be the players, right? It's got to be maybe the way they're coached, right? So no, I don't know.
No,
So
that makes sense to me, but
no, I mean,
Mr.
listen.
I'm trying to figure out, you know, I believe we had the better players on the field today. Like you said, Erdegaard made a mistake. Who else made one?
David Luiz. So they got progressively worse, right? First it was Odegaard, then it was David Luiz, and then Danny Ceballos. We're absolutely going to talk about Danny Ceballos.
What about
Yeah.
Zonk
So and I think Luiz and Erdegaard, those passes were just really lackadaisical, lazy, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
They were. I don't even think they were going to make it to their mark, right? Definitely Erdegaard's wasn't going to make it there. It didn't have anything on it to get to wherever. I think he was going all the way to right in the middle of the box where we had our center back at, if I recall, and it wasn't going to make it there. So it was a really bad kick from him. I mean, I think for a 10-minute period, he looked like he was struggling out there in my eyes when I was watching the game. And then he kind of said, and then he kind of maybe he got into the game and was able to get something out. And then, then he got the big shot. But yeah, I think so. They had three opportunities, and I guess the ball in. Is it Alger? What's their striker's name? Alger. How do you say his name? And
Gary struggling with his pronunciation.
I'm not gonna. I've
El
heard
Arabi.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah, I don't know if he got his foot on any of those other two mistakes, but he definitely got the one from Ceballos, right?
Yeah.
Right. So, and we can get into that one. I know people. Yeah. So that. Yeah. So I think they had 3 chances, and they were all in that first half, right?
Yeah, I'll go to Sam for the David Luiz one. That's just like a brain dead play from David Luiz there, and we're lucky that the angle is quite tight. It would take a special skill for a striker to curl that into the top corner, Sam.
I think we were very lucky. I don't think it was a very difficult chance to miss, to be honest. I mean, he just doesn't hit it correctly. Yeah, it's another brain fart from Sideshow Bob, isn't it? That's we're getting used to these now. They're they're quite regular. They're every not many games in between, is there? You get a good old brain fart from Sideshow Bob.
Yeah.
And, sometimes they go directly into the goal, and other times they don't. He gets lucky, but those mistakes are there, and it's, another reason why I don't think he should really be playing. I think we have better options that can play ahead of him and should be playing ahead of him, but there we go. That's the way Arteta likes it. He's
a great leader.
Yeah, he's a great leader. He shows everyone how to fuck up. So that's the kind of
do, kids.
I mean, the one thing
this is the problem we have with this team. We have too many people who just all these errors keep coming and coming and coming. And when your leaders are the ones doing the errors, what chance have you got? That's the thing. What chance have you got? So they're supposed to lead by example, and they can't even pass the ball simply out of the box. Yeah. So it's a serious problem. And Luiz, it's not the first time. It's not going to be the last time. It's going to happen again before the end of the season. We know it, and he's going to continue to play as well. So there we go.
All right, let me bring Tony in and then get to Alonso.
Also, I was going to say, yeah.
We got to get into a flow here. Tony, after watching tonight, do you agree with Arteta's statement? This team will pop when everything clicks.
Well, originally he said things will pop after COVID's done and everything's back to normal. I don't see that happening. I don't see this team clicking with the squad he's picking. So no, I don't.
I don't see this team clicking with the squad he's picking.
Nope.
Hey, I like that.
Nice one. All right, Alonso. Alonso, welcome back. How are you doing? Did you see the game today?
Tony's good at rhymes.
I let Tony talk more because so I did watch the second half, and it was really difficult at times because which Arsenal was going to show up, and they were going to give a goal, and that was it. We would give up, and that's the end that she wrote. So I think it's important to continue to win and continue to beat them up because we lost last year to them, right? So we wanted to have vengeance, we wanted to be able to advance, and I think that securing a 3-1 victory is pretty good, as far as going back home to Arsenal. So we have to have an upper hand, right? And you know how hard it is for us. We make it hard every time games like this happens. So I think he made the right substitutes. Now, whether or not we agree with the lineup, it's remains to be said. But I think that it's a little bit too late. I think Arteta should know that this is going to happen. I think that he should know his best 11 by now. And unfortunately, it's a bit too late for me. I think that he still hasn't had it right at this point, then something's wrong. So I think that there are problems there at Arsenal that we don't know about. So it just sucks that it hasn't happened this late in the season.
Yeah, definitely. Bargav said Darren Odegaard is going to stay. Just don't know what cost. I would actually agree with that because looks like Zidane is going to stay at Real Madrid, and he's not an Odegaard fan. So it's going to be upwards of probably 40 million, I would think, for Odegaard, though, if we were going to try and get him. Definitely save the 22 million we were thinking about buying Ceballos with at this point. On the evidence of this game, I think we would be remiss to do that. Gary, what do you think?
Yeah, I think it's. I think those two blips in the Benfica game aren't blips, right? Because there aren't blips, but there aren't blips, right? Because we saw it today.
Yeah.
I mean, we can blame it on the goalkeeper all you want, but you got to protect that ball at all times. So, and it's not like they don't have a good example of how to do that, right? So, you definitely.
All right, let's talk about the Odegaard goal. Tony, go to you, Tony.
It was fucking brilliant.
It's your time to shine, Tony.
I thought it was fucking brilliant. I love his goal.
Yeah, it was a great goal. I'm going to say Champions League goalkeepers should save something like that, but great goal. He gets off the mark, and I think it's really going to help his confidence. We've been seeing Tony with his performances. He's been growing and growing, and we've been seeing that he was going to possibly score sometime soon, and he got it today. Got his first goal for Arsenal.
Yeah, half a game he was playing a false nine. It was kind of a weird formation to me, but I like seeing him score.
Sam, you enjoyed that one?
I loved it. What a strike! A bit unusual for him, really, to strike the ball like that. He's normally a bit further in, like in the box and stuff, but so he hits it from outside the box and he hits it really sweetly. The fizz on the ball. I mean, he hits the ball really hard. I think it was like nearly 70 miles an hour when he strikes the balls, and that ball is moving a lot in the air. So yeah, I agree. Maybe a real top level goalkeeper is probably going to get it over the bar, but that ball moves so much in the air. The goalkeeper was really struggling with it, and with the power on the ball, it hits his arm. He's got plays strongly, and it goes in. So it's a really good strike. You've got to give it to Odegaard for that. And yes, it's lovely to see it, because that's the one thing for me when it comes to Odegaard is there's not really that many goals in him normally. I mean, he'll set up loads of goals. He'll give you loads and loads of assists and set up play and be part of the attack, the final third. But when it comes to actually finishing chances, that's not normally his forte. He'll normally leave that for others. But I'll tell you what, if he can add that, during his development now, because he's still young, if he can now add that to his forte, if he can actually add finishing to his attributes, I think he could be very, very good. Yeah.
Gail, thanks for joining us as well. And Ray Anderson, thanks for being in here. Sam, going to keep you on the line here. The Assembled likes to meter out questions.
I'll put him on the first plane. I'll drive him to Luton Airport and put him on the first plane to Barcelona myself.
But the second part is, would you say Arsenal would miss him as a coach?
Nope. Nah.
I think the Assembled knows the answers to these questions.
We're not a kindergarten, no. We're not a manager university. That's, I think, a lot of fans should start to realise that we're actually a big club. We're actually a big club trying to win things. We're not a prep school like Tony says. Not putting Reese Witherspoon through Legally Blonde.
Well, it would be brunette, not blonde, but yeah.
You know the point, though. Anyway, it's the point.
Yes. Alonso, what did you think of that? Odegaard, it's really going to help him settle in now. We want to feel part of the team, and I think his teammates, we're starting to see the camaraderie in the squad now.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's like we've been waiting for this kind of spark, right, from him, Odegaard, and it's quite impressive because we've seen glimpses, right, of the attack, him being in attack, and him assisting a couple of goals, and just the way he conducts himself at that age is pretty remarkable, right? And so you can only hope that he resigns with Arsenal and hopefully that it'll give some kind of leeway that he wants to be here because you can even see it in the celebration, right? That people gravitate to him, and I think that he wants to be here. And I'm hoping that he either gets a second loan or we just buy him out completely. And the future is bright with that young man. So I'm hoping for the best for him, and I hope it's in the Arsenal shirt.
Yeah, Gary, we're getting to a point where we have cover for Emil Smith Rowe, which is a great thing, and now the cover is actually really good cover in Odegaard, and scored a goal tonight, set us on our way, settled our nerves.
Yeah, we've been asking for it, right? He's come in and it's like, you know what? We know his passing leading to attacks has been pretty good. Now I want to see him try to actually, threaten the goal and put some pressure on the goalkeeper. And didn't think he was going to come that far away. He thought it'd be a lot closer. But I think he had it in his mind as soon as they gave him all that space, and they basically didn't close him down. And so he
took all of that space.
he took all that space and then just said,
Yeah.
I'm going to put my foot through this if they're not going to stop me. And goalkeeper, I guess, probably wasn't suspecting it was going to happen, that a shot's going to come out of that. And I know there was, I think we talked about it during the watch along. There must have been a lot of movement on that ball because it basically it went over his head and off his arm into the goal. So yeah, I mean, I like it if he's got that in his that's on his tool belt, right?
Yeah, in his wheelhouse.
Yes, Stan is the he's the travel agent, for the stars, or in our case, for the non-stars.
One-way trip to Madrid, and he's trying to load in as many as he can.
He's like 2 for 1. No, maybe 3 for 1.
Yeah.
Right,
Tony. So Tony, I think it's going to be a good thing we have players that are going to start to take shots from distance here. We've got Partey doing that from time to time. And once in a while, now we're going to have Odegaard doing that.
Yeah, I think that was one of the pleasant stats of the night. We had 18 shots. I think this team should be averaging at least 20 shots a game. It's nice to finally see it start to shoot the ball. Got a bunch of players that can shoot. They need to be shooting.
As Darren said, the goalkeeper was expecting.
Ray wants me to speak, but interrupt me constantly.
His face said it all. LOL. Go ahead.
It's not important.
All right, well, I speak again. Gail, that ball moved fast in slow motion. That was a banger, Tony.
Yeah, like I said, it's a fucking brilliant shot. That's the only thing I could describe a goal. Just nice to finally see a proper goal scored.
Any other comments for the remainder of the first half, Sam?
No, I just thought the first half we dominated. We should have had maybe a goal or two more. I think Olympiacos, they started very poorly. They didn't look like a very well organised, very good team. We had, I thought we had quite an easy first half there, to be honest. And should have gone in the half with a clearer margin. But we still managed to do the job in the second half. So.
Gary, the assembled. It's good point to wrap up the first half here. The assemble said, DWTT, what in your opinion is the best way forward for Arsenal? And do you see a massive improvement?
Yeah, it doesn't look like whatever Aubameyang's doing is that kind of striker for us. I mean, I felt like he once again disappeared in a game when we actually had a lot of pressure on the ball. So we need somebody a little bit more lively, a little bit more pace, a little bit not really pace, maybe just movement. Right, getting into spaces. I mean, I think it seemed as if he was disappearing. So we need somebody that's going to, want to take that ball. So if the Celtics looking to get rid of their striker, that might be a good, Edouard might be a good person for us to pick up. So I do like him for what I've seen. I don't know.
I think the assemble's asking what is the best way forward for Arsenal.
Oh. Well, I'd like to see.
What is the best forward?
The best way forward.
Yeah,
I think we might want to try somebody else. Maybe, I don't know, Martinelli. Maybe, I don't think maybe he doesn't want to go there, but maybe somebody doesn't want him to go there. But I think be nice to try him there. I mean, I know we don't really have that many games to try him out, but we need to get him on the field. And if we're
There's
not going to, so
there's a good shout for a striker, Tony from Brentford as well, as Rule has pointed out. He scored a lot of penalties, but we've seen Ollie Watkins flourish in the Premier League as well. Gail, I agree, Stan. He could be something for us in terms of Odegaard. Don't forget Book of Life for Xhaka, Stan.
Oh, jeez.
It sounds like a place, Zakistan. That's where we can
Send it to Zakistan.
Ray, you must think I'm blind. I looked at somebody's question, and I'm like, I'm answering. I don't even know what I'm answering.
It was a general question. What do you think is the best way forward?
I kind of feel like I want to see, I guess, some of the younger players get out there, right?
Well, that's a whole. That's a big podcast, isn't it?
So for me, I mean, the best way forward, are we talking about this season, or are we talking about, in the next couple of years? Because I think we have
That's a loaded question.
We have a good base for years to come, but like this season,
Well, let me just say, the three guys here, Gary, Tony, and Sam, don't want Xhaka moving forward or Arteta moving forward. Is that fair?
He could go to Zakistan.
Yeah, Bellerin and Xhaka, Willian.
Zakistan of the sons of Arteta.
They are probably, at least for me, they're not long for Arsenal. So, if they're not here next season, I'll be happy with that. I do feel we do have some players out on loan that we should be bringing back, right? We have at least a center back and maybe two center backs. And
I think Quinn Doozy could be doing a nice little job for us now instead of Xhaka.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get into the second half and that goal that we conceded, Gary. Let's start off with you. We'll go around the houses here.
Yeah.
Who do you apportion blame to? You got to apportion blame to somebody.
I think it's the man with the ball. I mean, he coughed up that ball. I mean, he basically passed it to. If you didn't know they weren't on the same team because of the jersey, you would have thought, he intercepted the ball and passed it to the striker. I mean, that's what it looked like. And when you look at it really quickly, and it's like you got to be able to, like I said, you got to be able to protect that ball when it comes in. I mean, was it that strong of a ball coming from Leno to him? Or was it Leno, right? Mm-hmm. Him that he wasn't able to contain that ball. I mean, the ball was so far away from him. If there was, even if there was nobody there, he would have had to chase it down because it was like a free ball in the middle of the pitch there. So I'm gonna, once again, the ball comes to you. You gotta protect it, right? And he didn't do a good job of that. Does Leno?
Should Leno have passed it to him?
I didn't see the entire, I did get a lot of views of the one from the Burnley game. From this one, I couldn't tell. I mean, he can always go long, but for me, as Arteta said, that's not the way they play. It's not the way he wants them to play. So he wants them to do that. So if he wants them to, they should know how to take in those balls coming in, either at, even if they're rockets being fired at them, or if they're soft rollers, whatever it is, they need to be able to control it. So it's either you either got to blame Arteta because that's what he wants, or you got to blame the player because Leno is supposed to give him the ball.
Well, which player do you blame?
I'm blaming the player. I'm blaming, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tony?
I blame Arteta. I think it was a bad substitution to begin with. He should have he's a sub party off if he was looking tired. He should have brought El Nini in at halftime. But as far as the players, it's definitely Ceballos' fault.
Wow, we got two for Ceballos, Sam.
Well, I mean, I think if you're going to blame anything on Leno, if you're going to blame anything on Leno that last game, then you're going to have to blame Leno for this. I mean, it's you got to be
two separate situations.
There, well, he's if you were to say he would have learned something from the last time, if that was wrong what he did last time, which many people seem to think what he did was wrong, he's in a similar situation this time. He's playing it to someone who's got press on him. He's facing the wrong way, and it's not really necessary ball to play. I mean, I think Leno could make a different, definitely make a different decision there. I don't know if Ceballos called for it. I don't know. I haven't gone through the analysis of it. I don't really know if Ceballos called for it, what happened there. But Ceballos was under a lot of pressure, and he just did the wrong thing again, like what Xhaka did in the last game. It's difficult to really apportion blame there. I think Leno, you would think learning from something last time, he wouldn't get himself potentially in the same situation. I think he thinks he's more secure being further out from the goal. Because it was further out from the goal. It was like 35, 40 yards out where where the pass comes. So, I think he's feeling like he can make maybe more of a chance, more of a risk there. And then, I also thought Leno, he could have done better, getting back as well. He seemed to position himself wrong when he was running back as well, and made it, he couldn't dive out to the left where
almost made it.
Where he, I think if he'd positioned himself a little bit better there, running back, he might have been able to save it. But I'm not gonna blame that part on him. I mean, it was a decent shot by their striker. But yeah, I mean, if he's learned something from the last time, he should be maybe looking for different options for me. So I can apportion some of the blame on Leno there, I think, in that situation. At the same time, Ceballos, if he calls for it, he gets it. It's further away from goal. It's slightly less dangerous in where it is. But he's just Ceballos not doing the right thing, not being switched on. And this is a problem we have with Ceballos, isn't it? He's another player who seems to have a problem with his, concentration, what he's doing, the right selection, and what he's doing with the ball.
As Gail said, if Danny doesn't lose it there, he puts 4 players in the mud too and frees a lot of space, and we're going in the other direction. For me, I think Bernd Leno can't make that pass to Ceballos for me. He's got at least two midfielders very, very close to him, 2 of the opposition very, very close to Ceballos. And it's just another catastrophe, another systematic error, Sam, that we're starting to creep into our game now.
We've had individual errors. We've had big individual errors now for many games now this season. Probably quite a few in a row as well when you start to analyse it. And some of the errors actually lead directly to opposition goals, which is terrible. But we're also making big individual mistakes. I mean, real big ones. Real giving away the ball easily in really bad areas. Things like that, and it's a big problem. It's one of the reasons why teams get in so easily against us when they shouldn't. When we should be making things hard for teams to break us down, we just give them a chance with a gift that keeps on giving. That's the problem.
As Rule says here, Elneny is probably one of the best players under pressure in that position.
He is very good. He is very good with players around him. That's one of Elneny's strengths. He's always good at finding space and turning on the ball. That is one of the things he does really well.
Gary, with a team, in any game really, if you give up, there's such fine margins with a lot of teams. If you give up a goal, you're putting yourself behind the 8 ball right away. So these systematic errors that we're creating here mean that we're going to have to score goals on the other end. Is putting us in a tough position.
Definitely. I mean, if with the risk is that when we play from the back, we risk giving up these easy chances, which happened multiple times, as we found out. Then the finishing has to be better on the other end. So got to make up for some of those deficiencies that we have there. So I mean, as I said, I think if I recall, Ceballos had two players really close to him.
Yeah.
One kind of off to his left behind him, and then you had the striker kind of in front of him
behind him.
In right. So if he were to touch that ball off to the right, his right, because he was facing back at the goal,
he's got some space.
I think he would have had space to get away, but that touch took it right into the players that were coming in from that side of the field. So Is that on Leno for seeing that? Because he did have open space, I believe, some space to get away from them. If he touches that thing off to his right and spins off, he's going to have space to clear it. So I don't, as much as it could be on Leno for seeing the danger and passing it, I think, Leno passes it and should be getting back to his goal, right? He kind of dilly-dally hesitated just enough and left his goal wide open. The goalkeeper's got to know that as well, too, right? So, but as far as the way that ball got cuffed up, it's definitely on Ceballos there.
Yeah, he turned right into traffic right there, got caught.
Yeah.
Leno, he could get back quicker, but almost gets to the ball as well, Gary.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Yeah, he does. He almost gets there. That's the thing. A lot of times you have to play the pass before the pass, right? So if you're accepting the ball, you got to know who's around you and where the open space is. So if you are going to put a touch on it, and it is going to be maybe a heavy touch, that you don't put it back into danger. You put it away from danger at the least.
Yeah.
I think Leno does try to get back, but I think he put himself so far out. Right. He was almost at the box when he made that pass and just never got back in time.
Don't know if Alonso is with us still, but if he comes back, going to ask him a question or two. As the Assemble said here, you can only blame the manager, as the team selection is down to him, but who will take responsibility? Absolutely nobody. Manager puts the team on the pitch. The players have to go out, and we talked about this on the last podcast. They have to execute. They have to execute the plan. So, Alonso, what's your thoughts on the Leno-Ceballos mix-up for their goal?
Well, I think that it was more so, Leno, because we all know if he watched Arsenal past 2.5 years or what have you, you would know that Leno's strength is not playing up from the back. And I don't care who you are, what midfielder you are, or who he passes it to, he does it in a way that makes us all nervous, right? And he has two choices: either pass it to the nearest person or just boot it out the way so that at least the guys on the other team aren't a threat to score every time or give them that much pressure. And this is what's so frustrating about Arsenal, is that they don't make that mistake. You know what I'm saying? So it's quite obvious that the mistakes don't get cleared up, or at least there's not enough communication there to fix it. And it's kind of annoying as a fan to see that.
Yeah, are we seeing, Alonso, are we seeing a flaw in Leno's game, that he doesn't have the communication? He's not able to orchestrate as well as he may do in playing out from the back?
Yeah, because it's become a habit now. And I think that he does it so loosely, too, that he doesn't fix his mistakes. And I think that that's where he becomes arrogant and cocky a little bit, because it's coming. It just matters when it does. And unfortunately, he puts his teammates in that rough spot where they have to, be nervy a little bit, and hopefully he's counting on them to execute. And it's happened far too often where it kind of leads to goals or him hesitating too much.
Yeah. Stan is patiently waiting for the El Neni bait. We'll get to the good stuff.
He didn't do anything. El Neni didn't do anything today. What's he waiting for? Nothing happened.
But Messi.
Gary,
Messi.
But Gary, he's an Iniesta, so you got to give him a chance now.
Oh, that's true.
Iniesta. As Ray Anderson said, in the Burnley game, Leno was positioned outside the goal when he gave Xhaka the ball. He didn't move till Xhaka kicked the ball on wood. And Tony, this had all of the hallmarks of another Burnley game. Just like action replay, Groundhog Day, deja vu, whatever you want to call it. We worked hard to get a goal ahead, and then we cough up a goal like that.
Yeah, but the Egyptian and the Brazilian saved their asses.
Right, so we'll get to the good stuff really quickly then. Really, Sam, really liked the. It seemed like Arteta was settling by the substitutions. It seemed like he was settling for the 1-1 draw, take the away goal back to the Emirates
Boo.
with the substitutions. But Gabriel popped up on 79 minutes to score that goal.
Gabriel was fantastic today. What a player. Looks like he's finally coming back a bit to the form he had before he unfortunately caught COVID.
Yeah.
That form, he was our best player of the season at that time. He was, he had like six, was it 5 or 6?
5 or 6.
Player of the match awards in a row.
Yeah.
And today he showed again why. Today he was immense. The header was a fantastic header. He comes and shows so much initiative, gets up really high, hits the ball, really well with his head, places it really well, really nice technique. And the kid is a beast. I mean, he just tackles so well, so strong. He's an amazing defender. He's so young. I can't believe. Again, talking about potential, this kid has a lot of potential. He really does, and I would love to see him play together with Pablo Mari, because those two, they speak the same lingo. Pablo Mari is strong as well, slightly bit different, maybe a bit more ball playing than what Gabriel is. And I would just love to see those. There are 2 best central defenders. I'd love to see them play together.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
Sam, all 5 of us don't agree on very, very much. I mean, especially it's me. I always seem like I'm out on an island like Pepe. Apart from the rest of you, you're all ganging up on me like hounds. But I think we all do agree.
Stand on, right?
What?
You don't have a leg to stand on your.
I don't have a leg.
Oh man!
But I do think we all agree that Pablo Mari and Gabriel are our 2 best defenders.
Yeah,
I think the only problem is
Lego man won't play them together.
Mikel Arteta will not play 2 left.
Yeah, he's got obviously his ideas there about who can play on the left side, the right side. I think it's all rubbish. It's something that's overanalyzed.
He does it in
Statistical
training. Why
bullshit.
hasn't he done it in the game?
It's all just over analytical crap. I mean, these guys can play together. They're pros. I think it would work well because they're good players. But yeah, back to Gabriel. Yeah, what a great goal. What a performance. What a player. I just hope he needs to keep playing, because at the moment he is really showing what we want.
Mm-hmm. Great to see Naughty Boy back. Really, we had fun last time you came on. So keep on coming back to this podcast. Is somebody keeping you awake? Last time somebody was keeping you awake. Remember that one? He assembled. Arsenal are buying allegedly better players and making more errors. This makes no sense at all. We still need to upgrade in about 3 or 4 positions. That's my contention. I think we would probably agree throughout all 5 of us. I think we'll probably agree 3, 4, or 5 positions we need to upgrade on. Alonso. Hey, funny enough with Alonso, because I was thinking of giving this to Sam, but I'm going to give it to you because your namesake. The goal that Gabriel scored reminded me of what Marcos Alonso did to one of our players, with the tenacity to head that ball in. He saw nothing but the ball there, and he put the ball in the net. Gabriel did.
Yeah, and it was quite remarkable what he did, because basically he was like, Aubameyang was in front of him, right? And he's like, take charge of that ball that William put in there for him, and it's like confidence, and it's something we've been lacking in the back for a long time. And the way he did it was the way he took that ball in and hit it and showed a lot of confidence for a guy who started out very well at Arsenal. Like Sam said, he got COVID, and he hadn't been playing for a lot. And I think that with him and Pablo Mari, they got somehow Arteta has to give him a chance to succeed and not put him in a position where Arsenal are in 10th place. He's a center back that wants to succeed, but we have to put a team to some of the team that's going to be built for Premier League football. and top 4 every year because his
Phrasing a bit there.
talented to be
Damn the internet.
Arsenal has become, and that's it.
Okay. We'll just give Alonso a second. This happens on every podcast. We're not the only ones. There's a freezer somewhere on every podcast. Gary,
Describing it for us.
Gary, it's really, really great, as I mentioned earlier, to have a goal-scoring defender. You can't understate the goal-scoring part of the defending for Gabriel. And let's just look at Gabriel's season. It's kind of been an up and down season for him so far.
Yeah, I mean, he came out right. I think he was our first goal scorer for the season, or
Defender, first defensive goal scorer.
Yeah,
first goal against Fulham.
I mean, he's got what,
debut.
3? I think he's got 3 headers right now, if I recall, right?
Yeah,
he's got 3 goals right now, which it's is a lot compared to if you look at the
all
team.
assisted by Willian, I might add.
You just have to make me not feel good about this situation, right? No, but I mean, it was.
Greek
I mean,
tragedy.
it was a great corner, right? We've been complaining about our corners not looking bad. William did hit a good corner. I mean, like I think Alonso was saying, Aubameyang probably was in position to take that header as well, but seemed to be creeping away from it. I'm not sure if that's part of the plan, or he didn't want to have contact with the defender, and that's why he was creeping backwards. I mean, that's kind of what it looked like if you see it. Like when I saw it on the replay, it looks like Aubameyang's kind of backing away from it. I don't know why, but I mean, he's supposed to get closer to the ball, right, before the defender does. So, but that was, I mean, that was. We've seen that happen to us a couple of times, right? It felt like the Everton game, we saw that when the defender went over us and just took the ball out of nowhere, kind of thing. Same thing happened here, right? So, yeah, Gabriel, if this is getting our Gabriel back, then I'll take it.
We got our Gabriel back. I like it.
But back to my point. We need to put Gabriel in a position where he's built for a team that's not going to lead or guarantee responsibility for their actions. And I think that he's better than our current squad. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense. So yeah, I mean, I'm glad he's with us, but I hope that he doesn't leave if we're not doing that great, or once out. But he's an kind of guy, and Tierney is also in that mode where they're talented players. You just hope that they don't leave when things get bad.
Yeah, well, what we need to do, and I've been saying this before, Tony, is we need to improve. The manager needs to improve, and I'll be the first to tell you he's not perfect. Although you all think that I think that he's perfect, but Arteta needs to improve as well, and Tony, the players need to improve, and we need to go buy some better players as well.
Yeah, we need to sign probably at least 10 players because we need depth.
Holy cow!
We've been selling. We haven't been buying.
But also we also need to have faith in our youth as well. I mean, we just can't give up on our youth system just like that.
We still need depth. We have no depth.
Okay, Tony, I'm not gonna argue with you, but at the same time, there are more than capable players in the academy who are ready for our next step on play. It's like we can't be like Man City or Man United or Chelsea buying players for a time.
Arteta doesn't like young players.
You should.
Arteta is one of the best young players in the world. If he doesn't like him, then that's a big problem.
Arteta likes
so
young players who will adapt and will play
like
the way he wants to play. Yeah, but
he didn't play Smith Rowe until injury, so he doesn't like the young players. Bar Saka.
But he has to learn how to trust them, Tony. Is my point. There's a lot of them in the academy that are doing pretty well outside. The loan spells they're gonna have going for them. So why not give him a go? At this point we had nothing to lose because we
I
saw.
agree, but he's not going to.
All right, I'm going to pick Gary to smooth out the two of those arguments, Gary.
About the confidence that Arteta doesn't have
Confidence
for.
in young players, yeah.
I mean, I kind of feel like he doesn't, right? I mean,
But
if
yes,
he can,
Saka's in the team.
if he can, are you telling me that every youngster in our team isn't
No.
doing what he wants, right? Because it just at some point it can't just be all the players coming out of Haaland just aren't getting it, because that's where they're coming from, right? It can't be all of them are not listening to him, not doing what he wants. Because we always hear, Xhaka is out there because he's doing what the manager wants. You telling me outside of Saka and Emil Smith-Rowe, those the other 5 or 6 youngsters we have on the team aren't listening to Arteta and doing the things that he wants? I can't. I don't believe all of them
I
are.
think my thinking on it, Gary, is that he doesn't want to put too much youth into the team at any one point in time.
I don't. What? Why? Why?
Why not?
If you're not getting it out of, we know we're not getting it out of our senior players. I mean, that's the
I'm not
story of.
defending it. I'm not
Yeah.
defending it. I'm just telling you. I think he's
Yeah.
going to.
No,
He feels he's going to lose points by putting too many kids out there.
He's losing points with the seniors. Yeah. See, you can't go both ways and say, you know what, we're going to lose points if we put the youngsters in, but we're losing points with the older players. So you know what, if you get a little bit younger, you're going to do the same thing. We don't know that. One of the things I remembered from some of the youngsters is that they seem to play a lot of one-touch ball, anyways, right?
Yeah.
So they seem to be always prepared for what's the next thing I want to do with the ball when it comes to me, and that could be, is that, is that what Arteta is creating, a situation where these older players are always having multiple touches on balls that most of us think, you know what, if they prepare for it, they get that ball out right away, then maybe there's no issue there. So, I guess I don't know before
Sorry, Gary, finish your point.
No, I was just gonna say, I don't know if you're gonna get to I guess you'll get to it later, but yeah, go ahead.
Get to what? The El Nani goal, or?
No, it was just it's about flip flops, and the Sebo had a comment about flip flops, so I didn't.
Oh, okay. So listen, I want to get to this one first with Sam. What game do you think Hector Bellerin and HP Sauce had?
Mediocre. I mean, again, out of position all the time when we don't have the ball.
What game did he had if Saka wasn't playing to back him up? It'd been complete shit.
And when he had the ball, in attack he was okay. I mean, today he made some decent runs into the box and some decent crosses, but every time we didn't have the ball, he was just completely out of position. So he's just not good enough. We know he's not good enough. He wasn't very good today. He was okay, mediocre, and he's just not good enough. He's not what we need. Cedric is better, what we need, and he should be playing. And I just can't believe why he's not playing today. The game is our most important game so far, this part of the season. He should be playing.
Yeah, and we'll get an opportunity to preview the North London Derby as well. Probably the biggest game for me coming up on Sunday.
I mean, the things that I was gonna say, the things that he was doing today, Bellerin, as far as being up, all the way on the attacking third for most of the game. This is exactly what we saw in the North London Derby the last time, leaving his defense alone and to handle it. You can do that, I guess. I believe you should be able to do that against Olympiacos, who most have said just aren't going to threaten you as much. But you can't do that in a North London Derby. We know that. So at some point he's going to have, once again, I think he only gets paid, as I said in the chats, he gets paid for going forward, just not getting back, because he doesn't do a good job of getting back ever.
Yeah, and he gets paid for probably being disruptive in the second lane from the inside right channel and drifting into midfield.
But we don't see much from it. I know it's not all on him, but we don't see as much from it. And he has opportunities to score himself, which So if he had scored some of the chances, I think the many chances he's had this year, maybe it's okay for him to move up there. But a lot of times it's just crosses that we just don't get to the on the end of.
So Gary DeSemble said at the moment the Aubameyang flip-flops, his flip-flops ain't having a relationship with the ball, let alone his head.
Yeah, we asked, how Bellerin and Xhaka and I guess Aubameyang did today. To me, I don't know, maybe I missed it, but it just seemed like they disappeared to me in the game. I know at one point some of them, Willian came off, but I just felt like at some point you see in the game that they just disappear, and you're like, where? Oh, do we have a striker? Oh yeah, Aubameyang is out there. Outside
Yeah,
of the crosses that Bellerin did, what else? When else did you hear his name? He's a defender, right? Yes, So I felt like they kind of disappear too much for me.
Naughty Boy and Stan are talking about Bellerin had some more control of the ball, and heard some say he was poor. So Bellerin continues to dilute opinion, and we're going to probably talk in depth about Bellerin for the North London derby.
I mean, you compare him and Tierney. I mean, I felt like Tierney also kind of, for me, I did see him get the ball up at the top, but I don't know. I felt like he also maybe just, didn't have as good a game as I was hoping for him to have going into a London derby. So, is he fully back? Maybe not. But I don't know. Did anybody see anything different from Tierney? Tierney and Saka. I mean, to me, this seems like a lot of players that just, for me, I just didn't see what I was hoping to see from them coming into such a big game for us, and putting their mark on the game as much.
Busy running back, protecting Bellerin the whole game.
Or taking shots, because Saka, I think Saka he got hit about 3 times in the first 25 minutes, and and then Gabriel gets the yellow on his first call, and it's like, how does that work? I mean, the guy stepped on his foot. Did you see when you saw the first thing he took was a kind of a rake across that space between the shin guard and the shoelaces. It's like
Rule said we did buy Gabriel, Tierney, Partey, and Leno. Sam, I want to ask you this question. I don't get a sense from this team that there's much revenge in their demeanor, in their hunger, desire. We're in the middle of playing a lot of teams. Burnley, we should have been motivated to go out and absolutely wipe the floor with them, even after going 1-1. Didn't seem to happen until the last 15 minutes from the end of the game. Today, we got ourselves into another Burnley situation. Outside of 2 worldies from Gabriel and Elneny, we got ourselves out of trouble. I don't get the sense there's revenge is on the menu at Colney.
No, and that's because that is again down to the lack of mentality, isn't it? We've talked about this many times. There's not that real mentality and motivation from the manager and the coaching staff, and there's none, not from the current captain, and also, most of the players they just don't have that type of mentality that we're winning, give 110%. Now we're going to show you, we're gonna get our own back on you type of mentality. They just don't have it, and it's just the thing. Is one of the reasons why we're always asking the question why we start game. We didn't today because Olympiacos were poor today when they started, but normally when we start games, we start poor and we're slow, and it's that whole mentality thing that we know we're struggling with.
The Assemble said, "Hold it! Nobody has the inside of Arteta's wisdom. I'm getting close. I'm getting really close."
He believes he knows. You keep saying you know exactly what he's doing. Sorry, Tony.
Very, very close. Not exactly. Very, very close. Tony?
I was saying that sticking your nose up his ass doesn't count as being close.
Tapping into that wisdom.
Tap into that. No, thank you. So let's talk about the Elneny goal. It's Gabriel scored in 79 minutes, Sam, and Elneny comes on in the 81st minute. He's supposed to close the game out, but he closed it out in a different kind of way, right?
Well, he came on and he's doing what he's supposed to be doing, just keeping the ball, moving, transitioning, ball security, like you're talking about. That's his main job. And then this thing with Elneny, he's done it before this season. He can come up and if no one's pressing him again, like, Olympiacos weren't very good at pressing today. They gave our players a lot of space, a lot of time. So Elneny was in a position again where he could have a pop. He could have a pop, and he did, and he hit it well. And you could see the curve on the ball. It curved out to the right, away from the goalkeeper, and he couldn't really get his hand on it well enough to save it. And it was a well taken, well shot goal, and Elneny's done that before this season. So I think with him and Erdegaard, we should encourage these guys to take more pops from distance, because they can do it. We don't always have to keep walking the ball into the goal, like we usually have to do with Wenger. So Elneny's got that. He's got that in his locker. I think, like I said, I think I said earlier today. I can't remember to who, but I was like, I think I said it here as well with you guys. Elneny, why can't we use him? I mean, that's the thing. He gives you. Okay, he's not spectacular. But he gives you a solid, stable performance most of the time, and I just can't see why people keep overlooking him, thinking you can't use him. I just don't get that.
Yeah, exactly. Let's take a few comments. Actually, Gary, let's talk about Elneny. That shot. And
yeah,
it's good to talk about the good stuff, right?
Good shot.
El Niesta, El Messi. What do you want to call him?
I'm going to call him Elneny. Yeah, it was a great shot. Like you said, he has it in there. We don't get to see it too often because he doesn't play as much. But he's had a couple this year, right? At least two nice shots that he's taken from distance. And he probably looked at Erdegaard and said, "You know what? I can do that too." And it laid out for him perfectly, and he took it. I mean, also I think we see Partey taking that shot also, right? So maybe when he gets his shooting boots in, that ball will stay a little bit lower, and we'll see the same from him because he's putting the ball, he's taking the shots from distance as well. So that was great. I mean, once again, all of our goals seemed to come out of nowhere. So we'll take that, especially if our attack wasn't finishing up like we wanted it to. But it was great.
A great goal as well. A great goal as well, Tony. That we kind of gives us some breathing room for the return leg next Thursday.
Yeah, having 3 away goals is definitely to help us. Hopefully, we still field a strong team next week. This is the type of team we should be able to field nothing but youth players and win. But Arteta fielded us our strongest players. The stars didn't show up. Gabriel and Elneny came in and saved the day.
Okay, how's that?
Heavy metal. That's about it.
It wasn't me.
Naughty Boy said, "I just hope they put 3 goals in on Sunday against the scum with no shiny bling things called trophies." Yeah, the toilet bowl, Sam.
Yeah, exactly.
Stan, Willian is getting better since the Benfica game. For the rest of the season, hope he does keep it up. Yeah, we're seeing a little bit of a better an assist tonight as well, Sam, for Willian.
I must admit, Willian is looking a little bit better. The last couple of games, he is looking a bit more sharper on the ball. He doesn't look as dead as he was earlier this season.
He's earning some of his 32 million finally.
So I thought he had a good game today. Quite decent game today. Decent passing. He had a couple of nice little flicks as well. I saw onto players. It was quite nice to see. I think he's gaining a bit more confidence now as well. It seems like he's getting a bit more comfortable with the way we play, and he should have. Of course, that should have happened a long time ago. But it just seems to be getting a bit more into it again now, finding a bit more form, and that's good because we want a Willian in form. I want him to succeed. That's the thing. I want these players to succeed, but they've got to show it. They've got to show that performing and that they're doing it consistently. That's what they got to show. But yeah, Williams last couple of games, I can't really say he's been poor. I think he's been quite good, to be honest. And a bit unfortunate for Pepe, because I don't think Pepe really deserved to be dropped. I think Pepe was also showing a bit more promise and ability to get into to good positions and create a few things. But this is the thing with Arteta. His team selections are very strange. He's got one or two players that can do no wrong. The favourites can do no wrong, and then you've got the other ones who just, no matter how good they play, they're just the next game. There's no guarantee they're going to play the next game.
Yeah, Gary, a couple of comments here. First of all, Stan's talking about Kieran Tierney's final ball. I've had issues with Kieran Tierney's final ball for a good part of the season. I think he's a great player, and if you put a lot of quantity into the box, you'll get something that comes off. But I think his final ball is something that he can improve on. The other two things was Saka looks a bit tired in the last couple of matches as well.
He needs
Right?
a rest. We've got Martinelli.
like I said,
called Martinelli.
Yeah, like I said, the players
exactly.
that I was hoping to see kind of improve from the last game just didn't for me. I was hoping to see Saka and Tierney and even Aubameyang look better for us. In this game against a team that we expected to win and beat. So expected to win the game and beat. So I didn't see it. So I'm hoping, I'm hoping, but if he's I guess I'm hoping to see improvement, but I would like to see them have their form going into this game as opposed to still trying to figure it out. It didn't look like we saw it today. I don't know if that was Olympiacos doing it to us, or if they're just not fully back yet, right? So Gabriel, I guess, had the similar thing, right? When he came back, he kind of looked off a little while, took a break and came back, and now it's looking
because of COVID as well, Gary. Probably.
Yeah, well, I mean, just getting out of the lineup, not having your regular, regardless of what it is, if it's, once you step away from the field for a game or two, your form dips, right? Regardless, mentally it dips. So I think that's, hopefully mentally they get back. I mean, I think Saka was a threat to them, and they knew it, so they try to take him out. We'll see how it rotation. Yeah. That's right. They're always gonna get Saka. So, hello to Rohan.
What a leap by Gabriel. Sent them via back to 2013 when he used to be linked to Arsenal.
And we were always linked to him, weren't we? Yeah, he was a good.
That reminded me as well what the Chelsea player Alonso, did to Bellerin as well. So it's good to see our players, being physical as well in the box and having that desire. Get into the box.
Well, we didn't do that on their smallest player, right? We did it on one of their big boys coming at, and when I saw that they were going to VAR, I was like, "Are you kidding me?" I mean, everything that happened, if there was anything, it was well after the header was gone. So how do you call that? And I think he got there first, as far as I'm concerned, right? The ball's in the air. I believe Gabriel got there first. Defender. I'm gonna reach here and say he ducked underneath them, but I think he got there first. So long before the defender got there and kind of got underneath him a little bit and got a little bit. But you know what? That's probably fair play, because you know what? He heard Saka, right? So sometimes turnaround is fair play. So even though this was indirect.
Tony, it's a good thing that Saka has carried us for the last 2-3 months, probably most of the season, because so he deserves a rest, and the rest of the team should be able to pick up the slack. I mean, we're starting to see a squad game now with Gabriel, Pablo Mari, other players coming into it, Pepe, Willian, fighting it out as well. So it's definitely good that Bukayo Saka can take a rest, right, Tony?
Yeah, he needs a rest, but today, like I said, he's constantly running back, protecting Bellerin's ass. I thought he was working as hard as he could the whole game. He might have not been doing much on the offensive side because he's always back there protecting Bellerin, because Bellerin was playing as a winger for most of the match.
Stan said when the goal went in, he jumped up and started shouting, "CC." Been ages since I'd had fun celebrating a goal since VAR and COVID. It was a good feeling. So Yeah, definitely there was no VAR issues with that one. Well, listen, I'm going to step away for just a second and leave these good folks here to come up with the Tony Don Juan man in the match, and I will start off with Sam, and we'll go counterclockwise, and Tony will obviously ordain somebody, and I'll be
Right,
right back.
for me, the man of the match today was a close shout. I thought what brought it. I thought Erdogan had a very good game today, apart from that mistake he made that sort of dragged it down a bit for him, unfortunately. Apart from that, I thought he had a very, very good game. But the man of the match for me has to be Gabriel. Wow, what a defender, what a guy, what a player. That goal, the way he defends, tackling, passing, everything today was on point. Really good player for me. And that goal was a cherry on the top. Yeah, Gabriel's got to be my man of the match for me.
Yeah, Sam. My next, right?
Yep, go on.
Yes. So I agree with you, Sam. I think that maybe given a bit chances there. After he had COVID, maybe he would have made a difference. But at the end of the day, I think that it was a good signing. I think we needed a guy like Gabriel who demands a lot of things in the air and as well as on the ground. I think he defends decent enough to stick around for a long time. I think that he could also be shot for captain in the future. And yeah, I think that goal came at the right moment for us to get our hopes up a little bit. And I think he saved us. I think he saved us from embarrassment actually. And so I think I'd go Sam as like every other man in the match.
Yeah, I'm looking at this and I know it could be a clean sweep for Gabriel because I'm just trying to think who else actually for me showed up today and had a game that even came close to what Gabriel did, and I finding it hard to see that. I think Erdegar had I think I would have liked to. He can't. What time did he come out? He came out, I guess, in the 80th minute. But he had. I like him out there. He, like I said, I think there was a point in time where he had a couple of blips there, the bad pass, and then he kind of the ball got away from him a couple times. And like I said, about 10 minutes to ban. But otherwise, I think I like him having him out there. Wasn't as commanding as I would have liked him to be, so it's hard for me to give him a shout as what. But yeah, I think it's Gabriel. I mean, it's when I watched the game, but I got a little distracted because I was kind of doing my work while I was watching at least the second half, so I didn't catch much. But if you think about it, they didn't get much from us, right, from a offensive standpoint. So our defense had to be pretty good for that type of game. And they weren't necessarily attacking us, but we made sure when they did, we it's either Leno or our defense coming in making tackles, and we did a good job there. I know it's almost like the Burnley game in a sense that Leno did make some saves for us again when our defense collapsed, right? When our play in a defensive third collapsed, but he didn't. I guess seeing that one pass come out, kind of negates a little bit of what he did today for me, especially the way we finished off. So Gabriel gets it for me.
In what could have been a tight decision, I think it's going to be pretty unanimous. I don't know what Sam or Alonso said, but did you say Gabriel?
Yeah, we both went for Gabriel.
All right, Tony, who's the Tony Don Juan man of the match?
Let's see. He had 100% conversion rate, 100% aerials won, 90% passing accuracy, 80 touches, 5 ball recoveries, 3 clearances, 2 tackles, 2 out of 2 aerials, 2 blocks, 1 foul, 1 interception, 1 goal, 1 assist, and 0 times dribbled past. For the probably most frequently Don Juan of the year, Gabriel.
Yeah, very good game.
Yeah. Very good, very good. Gabriel is great to see him back after the issues
I don't think
he had with
starts after the COVID. I think Arteta waited too long to start playing.
Well, we have to trust You have to trust and believe in what they're doing there. And COVID can be probably very, very difficult to get out of your system where you don't know the full effects of it
especially when you're not running around.
as a professional athlete. Gary, let's go around a couple of other results. So we're 3-1 up in the tie. Second leg is looking, if we take care of business, we don't do anything too Arsenal like we should go through, right? Um, Manchester United drew with Milan 1-1. So that's on a knife edge. They got to go to Milan. Uh, Villarreal looking good. Ajax looking good. Slavia Prague and Rangers 1-1. Grenada 2-0. That lot down the road 2-0. And Roma 3-0 up. So there's some good teams in there still.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I guess I'm more concerned with what we're doing. I would like, if
Yeah,
United
absolutely.
gets knocked out, so that would be nice. Nice
Well,
to see.
what's the old sayings go like, Sam? One game at a time, right?
One game at a time. I mean,
We're going to get Villarreal, don't you, in the next round?
Mhm. Yeah.
Who would you like? Like, okay, maybe it's tempting fate a little bit, but let's peer a little bit ahead. Who would you like in the next round?
Well, they're all good teams. That's the thing, right? I mean, they're getting the quarterfinal now. They're all good teams. I mean, yes,
Mm-hmm.
some are slightly better than others, but they're all good teams in the quarterfinal. I mean, AC Milan, they're a team that are much improved now since we last played them.
Rangers or Prague?
Rangers, I would say maybe Rangers or Slavia Prague, one of those two, maybe.
Yeah.
Either of those teams will give us a game over 2 legs. Even Rangers, I know Rangers, they're not quite our level, they're not supposed to be, but I mean, with Steven Gerrard firing them up and them wanting to give 110% to beat us, they wouldn't make it easy for us, that's for sure.
So,
Alonso?
yeah, I have some mates that are from Glasgow Rangers, and so yeah, it would give banter, meeting up at the pub, watching the game, and it'd be kind of cool. But I would like to see Rangers go at it. I'm a good. There's some Americans. There have been some American players playing for Rangers, so
Yeah.
I see Rangers.
Yeah. It could be Milan, Villarreal, Ajax, Rangers,
We're
Grenada.
playing Emery next round.
Or
We're gonna get knocked out by Emery.
It's faded, Tony. Who would you like to? Who do you think we're going to get drawn, and who would you like to get drawn?
For some reason, I think we're gonna face Emery and get knocked out. But
Great story. I mean, there's great stories in this
The
competition.
glass is always half full with Tony, isn't it? You get, it's always half full.
We so far have done a lot better against Olympiacos, so we've reversed at least the first leg demon that we had, where we didn't pull away from them when we probably should have. So, yeah, I mean, we have to play another team that has an Arsenal player on it, right? So, I mean, there's a couple still out there. So,
Yeah, Mkhitaryan, right?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, Gary, has Martinelli played his last game for Arsenal? I would hope not. I think not. He's such a good asset for the team. He's got to find some games before the end of the season.
we better shoot Lego Man.
Yeah, no, it is. I mean, that's a stupid question. There's no way.
He hasn't played.
He hasn't played, but you know what?
I said, Arteta doesn't like the young players.
Yeah, no. I kind of feel like, yeah, there's a little bit of what we saw with Saka last season, in the sense that he's, it's coming to the end of the season. He hasn't really got much playing time as to begin with, and then when he finally does, he gets injured. So maybe he's just buying his time and maybe give him some spot duty. I mean, we saw Saka disappear, and
I really want him to play some games as well.
Yeah, well, he's not. He didn't come. We had what? Did we use? We didn't even use all our subs today, right? He didn't come in.
We used 3 out of 5.
Yeah, no, we used 4, but I mean, yeah, the Partey came out early, right? So Bios then did his thing, so we didn't use him. We had 5 subs and we didn't use them. And this game, the North London Derby, unless we're down 2-0, I don't see any reason for him to come on, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah,
Right.
and maybe if we go up early against Olympiacos, he should come in, right? We score 1 goal in the first half, 2 goals, then
I
he should
would
be coming on, right?
I would say possibly
On that
looking at this schedule here, you get through the next 4 games: Tottenham, Olympiacos, West Ham, Liverpool. There's opportunities then for Martinelli to play the final half a dozen to 8 games there in the league.
Selhurst
You know,
Park on there, Ray.
Selhurst Park is there. Crystal Palace, right? Sam,
Oh,
Yes.
what's your overall thoughts then on the last few teams in it? I would not want to play Manchester United or Tottenham just yet. Do you want to draw? Do you want to avoid those teams?
Yeah, I mean, they're probably amongst the stronger teams that are left. Yeah, I'll probably want to play, Slavia Prague or Rangers, maybe a Roma. I think they're teams that we could beat. Yeah, it's going to be one of those teams, preferably. I think we want to try and keep away from the Manchester Uniteds and Tottenhams for now, because they will, over 2 legs, they will, be really, really hard to beat.
Yeah. So let's have a quick word about tonight, Gary. Just great to get that win, right? It was like Burnley up until it was like Burnley plus Worldies. That's how I'm gonna phrase it. It looked like Burnley, and then we had Gabriel and El Neni stepping forward.
we did. I mean, we
Penalty
definitely,
guard.
we
Don't forget
definitely,
Martin.
yeah.
Yes, Tony.
I said, don't forget Martin.
Oh no, nobody's forgetting Erdegaard. Yeah, he did.
Without Martin, we're a goal behind, and with 10 minutes to go. Without Martin, right, Gary?
Yeah, which at that point, I think when it was 1-1, I was like, oh well, I guess we're gonna take a 1 away goal and go home and see how it goes. And those, like I said, the goals just came out of nowhere.
Stan just put up fire.
That would be funny, wouldn't it? That would be so funny.
You know what? That would be like our FA Cup run, right? I mean, basically had 3 games where everybody thought we were going to lose, right? Or 3 out of the last 4.
Imagine if it's between us and Spurs in the final. The winner gets into the Champions League, right? The fans are just going to completely melt, aren't they? Before that game, it's just going to be that would just be absolute mayhem, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fire comment. Though. We got to give you credit for that, Stan.
Are they going to have fans in the stadium for that? Because it's going to be.
I think they will. The final. I think they're planning on having a few thousand there. I think. Yeah.
United in the semis, and then keep Spurs from getting the trophy in the final. Imagine Spurs getting to 2 finals and not winning either of them. I'd take that.
That happens all the time.
just a Tuesday for them, right?
We got a barrel covered.
He did it well because United always seem to get to semifinals and fail at the semifinal stage. United, so yeah. All right. Great stuff. Listen, I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. I'm thinking about us in the quarterfinals already, but it's no bad thing either, right? To go this far. Let's get into the Premier League review now. We're going to go through all the games, and then at the end we'll preview.
No, you can't speak.
You froze.
One thing before we get into the Premier League, real quick. After the game,
You made it happen.
I'm frozen.
You were.
Okay, I was frozen for a little bit. No, I was just gonna say Arteta's comments after the game. I don't know if you guys heard it.
Yeah, give us.
So the first one is that they were talking about the mistakes that are happening, and his response to that was that with games every 3 days, they sound like he was saying because they have games every 3 days, they just can't really work on that. Yeah, I don't get that. Wait, you can't work on mistakes that happen consistently? because you only
Yeah,
have games every 3 days. I mean,
I think
what?
it's just. I think what he's talking about is it's difficult to get on the training pitch and do a lot of work on the training pitch when you're playing games so often because they have travel, they have other preparation things. You
But
know,
they are watching videos or something, right? I mean, you
Yeah,
gotta,
I mean, up here it should be up here, right? It should be like I'll stop passing the ball to the opposition. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah. I mean, the other thing that he said it was just they asked him which of the 3 goals did he like, and then he just went off on a tangent because I don't think he wanted to answer that question, which is, coach speak, And then
He
the
wasn't
last
one of
one,
the sons of Arteta, so he had nothing to say.
yeah, exactly. He couldn't pick one because it's not. And then the other part is Partey came off for tactical. It was a tactical decision. Partey coming off.
and Gary, I'm happy in the end if Partey was taken off for that reason and rested, because we do have a big game on Sunday as well.
Is a tactical decision a resting decision?
I don't know what that means.
Okay.
Right? Because what does that mean, Tony or Sam?
Tactical decision. I think what he's saying is he's resting him. I think that's what he's saying.
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's no tactics on the field that Partey can't
Well,
overcome.
that's why it's a silly
His
response.
tactic
It's
was
like,
to pull him off, put Ceballos on, and let it go in.
It's not a clear response, is it? It's no.
All right, sorry about that, Ray.
No. Listen,
it
was good to get some context to how Arteta was feeling. However, troubling his terminology can be at times. I think he's struggling a little bit as well with trying to make himself be favorable to journalists. I think he struggles a little bit with that situation as well.
You can help him out, right?
Yeah, definitely. I'm here all the time, 24/7, 365.
Yeah, I mean, but I don't see. Yeah, I don't see any reason saying that. You know what? He's still he's still figuring out getting back into form, and we pulled him out for that reason, right? So I mean, he pulled him out. It was 1-1, right? So it wasn't right. He pulled him out. It was 1-1, I think.
Mm-hmm,
So
in the 65th minute, something like that.
Yeah. So
no, it was 1-0.
And
it was 1-0. So he pulled him out with okay.
He put Ceballos in, and Ceballos gave up a goal right after.
All right, we're going to go through all of the games here, and Alonso's back, so we'll have a West Brom story that will be part of. Kieran Gibbs will feature pretty heavily in it, I think. It's become a feature. It's become a regular Thursday night feature. And
my God.
ladies and gentlemen, please put on your seatbelts and put up your trays as we begin our landing. ETA is 40 minutes.
That happened.
He knows he knows how you close out a show. He knows how you do it.
Be right.
He's got the timing a little bit right, I think. We've got a good 40 minutes to go, right? Sam, we'll start you off. We're going to go for the upsets, and Gary's got an unassailable lead at this point in time.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, he does.
Lucky bastard. Lucky bastard.
I mean, look, I tell you why I'm going the way I'm going. You guys say no, I don't want to.
We were so close with that. Was it Brighton? We were so close with Brighton, weren't we? Oh.
Look at that, Sam. He's got like a 20-point lead on Tony.
Oh God.
Who's the next?
Not good.
But anyway,
ready to Super Bowl down to Atlanta and come back.
Tomorrow we got Newcastle at home to Aston Villa. Aston Villa is slowing down a little bit with Jack Grealish not being in the team.
Are you going for me? Is it? Or
Yeah. You start off, Sam.
Yeah. I mean, you're right. Without Grealish, they seem to not really be firing on all cylinders. I still think there'll be too much for Newcastle, though, so I think Aston Villa will win that game.
Alonso?
Yeah, I think, what Sam said, I think that their tactics is just too strong for Newcastle. I think that would be a 2-win for the villains. So, Aston Villa.
And Gary?
Yeah, I think
it's tempting, right?
It is. It is. It's. I mean, I don't know. It's a road game. I don't know if that means anything. No, I think.
Gary's
I
trying
think
to
Aston
pad
Villa
his
win that
lead.
one. Huh?
So you're gonna try to pad your lead, go for an upset.
Yeah. No. I'm looking at them to see which one I should go with.
Yeah, this is going to be real time. I don't think we really studied this. I haven't. So,
No. Yeah.
Do we ever? I never studied it.
I know. I usually look right when Ray says, "Here we go," and then.
all right, Tony. Aston Villa versus Newcastle.
For some
And
reason, I see a draw.
stick with us, everyone. We're going to preview the North London Derby, so we're going to try and get through these games pretty quickly.
I think it's gonna be a draw.
Draw. Okay. I'll stick with you, Tony. Leeds versus Chelsea. It's an interesting game. Thomas Tuchel, who is on a roll, takes his team to Leeds. You never know what you're going to get with Bielsa.
Forrest Gump's box of chocolate is Leeds. I don't know. Another draw.
Another draw, Sam. What do you think? Do you think Chelsea could struggle at Leeds?
Well, the thing is, Leeds all of a sudden can just have an amazing game, right? That's the thing. All of a sudden they can just pull it out of their asses and, Bielsa will really get them going. But I don't know, Leeds have been struggling. Leeds have been struggling a lot the last few weeks. So, Tuchel's, like you say, he's really got them going. Tactically, he's really showing the rest of the league how to change things around at the moment. They got a really strong team. I just can't see Leeds getting anything out of that game, to be honest. I just think Tuchel's going to go there and he's going to pick up the points. That's what I really feel.
Ray's already putting the scores in, so good stuff, Ray Anderson. Anyone else wants to put scores in, predicted? And it's always fun to look back. I sometimes look back at this on Saturdays and Sundays to see how good we were or how bad we were. Alonso, Leeds versus Chelsea.
I'm going 1-1 draw to Leeds and Chelsea. My computer's messed up now.
Yeah. Gary?
Yeah, like Tony's
1-1 draw.
1-1 draw.
Yeah. Like Tony said, you don't know which Leeds team you're gonna get. I would like to go with Leeds. I just don't. I feel like did Chelsea play? They played midweek, right?
I don't think so.
No, they had some time off, so they've been resting.
Yeah, I don't think they played in the Champions League.
Okay. All right. So I think I'm gonna go. Chelsea's gonna win this one. I mean,
hey, they have a game. They may have a game this coming midweek.
Oh, okay.
In the Champions League, that's how they do it every second week, right?
Yep.
True. That is right.
We've been so. I don't watch Champions League games, so I would just watch highlights. And we've been so far away from Champions League. I forgot what it looks like.
Yeah. Kind of hard with CBS having a deal. You only get to see one game anyway.
No, you know what? It even said, I think. No, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna stick with. I think Chelsea will win this one.
Come on, Gary, pick one already.
Pick one. I want to go for the big one, but that's a big stretch. So I'm gonna go medium size. So. Plus, I also want to help out Ray, so he knows what that means.
Ray said you should have a fan score too on your scoreboard too. All right, and Leeds are 2 kamikaze. Gary, kick us off with Palace versus West Brom. Crystal Palace pretty bad, huh?
Yes, they are. But West Brom, can surprise you. Yeah, I'm gonna.
Where are they playing at, Ray?
They're playing in Crystal Palace.
So,
yeah.
I'm asking you, Tony.
Twice today I got to mention it.
I'm not good with the names of the stadiums. As-
I am, but Ray cheats me in quizzes.
No, I'm gonna go with. I think I'm gonna go with the upset, but not my upset pick. So
West
So,
Brom takes
yeah.
points there.
yeah.
Tony?
Hey, Gary, here's the score that go against Crystal Palace.
Oh, this is how they get the upset. Go ahead, tell us.
No. You told me who's going to score, right? Who's going to
I'll
score?
let you say
Come
it.
on,
That's
man.
you. That's all you,
It's
Alonso.
not, I'm sorry. I don't want to take it. I can't do that to you. I'm sorry.
All right, go ahead, Tony.
Crystal Palace will lose.
Come on,
at
let's
Selhurst Park.
move these gutter games along quicker. Come on.
I said Crystal Palace loses at Selhurst Park.
Oh my
Well,
God, Sam, our formation is too slow up top. Gary and Tony are slowing the
Draw.
speed down.
I said it. God damn it.
Sam,
Draw.
draw. All right, Alonso.
Was that a southern draw? Definitely it was a southern draw.
Southern draw. You're ready.
John Wan's good to have you here. This lockdown has messed up your sleep pattern. Thank God you guys are around.
Fuck
Yeah,
yeah, Alonso's in that more than a fucking dildo and a tie hooker. He is.
No, it's not that hot, man. It's the fan.
Uh-oh.
Okay,
The old computer.
You got to put on the blocks, man. You got to put up on blocks.
so
Yeah.
now
Get my duster cleaner out.
Get some ventilation underneath that thing.
is it my turn?
Yes.
Brrr, drum roll.
Come on, Karen Gibbs.
So I'm gonna say this quick. So somehow Zaha is gonna foul. You guessed it. My boy Karen Gibbs, right? So somehow, right now was gonna score a free kick from 30 yards out. Boom, there you go. 1-0 to the Baggies.
1-0 to the Baggies. Kieran Gibbs did it again. He's on 12 goals now for the season.
No. Right, now scores that goal.
Maitland Niles, okay. Sharing the love.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
can't break
listen.
my record.
I think Palace win this game 1-0. Everton versus Burnley. That's going to be a tough game for Everton, but I think Everton will win that one. And Everton, we got to get them slowed down for Arsenal. Gary,
Yeah. So why didn't you pick them? I'm helping you out here.
I don't know.
It's my upset pick. I think Burnley's going to get at least a point out of this one for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, because Ray needs it.
Gary picked the trap game. A point at least. Tony?
Everton.
Everton.
Everybody go against me. Come on.
Sam?
I think Everton are going to beat Burnley.
I think this is going to draw.
Right, a draw. Okay, and Stan is having fun with me here. Alonso will be coming around with some complimentary peanuts.
But I got a peanut
Stan
allergy.
did have a
Or,
stroke
I don't
during the game.
I like cashews. Do you have cashews?
If you just tell Alonso you have a peanut allergy, he'll take care of you. All right, listen. I'm gonna really, really shock all of you. Fulham versus City. Fulham at home. I'm taking Fulham to get something out of that game.
How's that shocking? They're third in the form table.
He's trying to catch me. He needs to catch me.
It's 18 versus 1.
They're third
17
in the form
points.
table. The third in the form table the last 5 weeks. Fulham is.
Yep. And where's City in the
First,
form table?
First.
Number 1.
Numero uno. Okay, Tony, how do you see panning out Fulham versus City?
I was going to go with Fulham.
As your shock or not?
Yep.
Okay. You were going to. Does that mean you still are?
I still will.
Yep. Sam?
I'm also going with Fulham for my shocker.
All right.
I think they can get some points out of City. Yes.
What happened to your second draw? Go back.
We
to
didn't
your
take
second
them
draw.
last weekend.
What you talking about there, boy?
I think you might have missed that train, though. You guys might have missed that train. Go ahead.
Man, I
Go ahead,
missed that
Alonso.
train, boy, the gravy train.
Yeah, I'm going. This is what
Lonzo got derailed.
I'm going Fulham win this game.
Fulham to win the game, right? Is this your shock or not?
It's not shock, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So if this
Trying
comes
to
off,
catch you, Gary.
the race tightens up. The race
Everybody's trying
tightens
to
up.
catch me.
So Tony's gonna come around with some peanuts real soon, and they gotta be goddamn cashews.
It's like,
Cashews and
why are these nuts wet? He's
Oh.
gonna say because they,
It's a good question. It's a good question. Don won, so God help us. We're a five-a-side team. What position would you play, Sam?
Me, if I was a five-a-side, I'll play.
Arsenal fan circle is a five-a-side team.
He's the
Yes,
goalkeeper.
yes.
He's the
I would
goalkeeper.
be.
He's already a goalkeeper anyway.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could probably play in goal. Yeah, definitely do that.
Alonso, where do you want to play?
Center back.
Center back. Gary?
oh man,
He's a midfield general.
it all depends on which Gary you're talking about. The one
There's
right
two
now.
forwards. There's two forwards and one defensive spot left.
I gotta play defense because I'm playing defense. I'm keeping everybody on side because I'm not coming. I'm not. I'm not coming all the way up.
Hey, yeah,
And that leaves Tony and me. Tony and me as the strikers, as the attackers. So
I'm gonna do a bicycle kick with my left foot.
Okay, Tony. Coming up.
all right, Alonso, Southampton versus Brighton.
I'm picking Brighton to win this game.
Yeah, Southampton really fallen off the cliff there. Way back at the start of the season, they were first at one point in the season. They were first. They slid right down the table. I think Brighton have enough about them to get a win there. Gary?
Yeah, I don't think Brighton's gonna lose 4 in a row. So yeah, I have them breaking that streak. So yep, Brighton it is.
Tony?
Sorry, Stan's comment got me distracted there.
Tony would have to be a Merter Sacre-esque center back as he now has the static turning circle. The windmill. Southampton versus Brighton, Tony.
I took Brighton last week. They let me down, so I'm gonna go with Southampton.
And Stan? Sam?
Well, that's a South Coast derby right there. So,
Oh my God.
hey, got seagulls shitting on all the heads everywhere down there. We don't like that. So, I'll tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna let me see here now.
Is this a Texas accent?
Oh my
It's Southern drawl. That's what it is, motherfucker.
Don't mess with Texas.
Don't mess with Texas, motherfucker. Right. So I think Southampton. They get a draw. I think it'll be a draw. Boring, goddamn boring draw.
Alonso, did you get to speak about Southampton?
Yeah,
You did not.
Okay. Sam, start us off with Leicester versus Sheffield United.
You sure want me to do that, boy?
Sure.
All right, here we go.
It's getting late in
Well,
Norway.
Well, Leicester win that easy. God damn it, that's like
He's
that's
in
like trying-
Texas next
that's
door
like
to.
trying- That's like trying to get candy out for 3-year-old. God damn it, that's an easy one.
Yeah. Stan, Dukes of Hazzard, he's boss hog. Sam's doing a boss hog. Oh, Brownie's here just in time for you, Sam.
Just in time to talk some shit.
Yep.
Okay, yeah. What is the word of the day, Brownie? And give us some good facts as well.
Roscoe.
Pico train.
Nice one.
Also, Pico train.
Yep. Alonso, going south very quickly. Leicester versus Sheffield United. South in more ways than one.
The Foxes will destroy Sheffield United, I think 3-1. I think Worldies a hat trick, of course. Whatever. Who cares?
You said hookers? Oh no, he said who cares? Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Come on,
Who
Sam.
cares? Gary, Leicester got away with that win last weekend against Brighton.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna let it happen this time. So yeah, no, they're gonna win. So Leicester
Yeah,
gets
I
it.
think that they get back on the train again. Tony,
Sam's gonna say draw.
Wake up,
Southern draw.
Tony.
It's a Southern draw.
Tony, Manchester United versus West Ham. That's going to be a tough one for West Ham.
I think West Ham gets a draw.
Yeah, Charlie be happy with that. Sam?
Yeah, well, I mean West Ham are a good team, really doing well this season, flying. I think they'll give United a difficult game. I can see that one being a draw. To be honest, I really can.
A Southern draw.
Nah,
Not a southern draw, a northern draw.
then Northern draw.
Northern draw. Alonso, Manchester United versus West Ham, Alonso.
Alonso's making me dizzy.
I like West Ham in this game. I think Manchester United, like I said previously in previous podcast, I think Manchester United are just overrated. You know, they come out strong one game, and the other games they don't play well enough to win. You know, so we should be where they're at the table, but we're not. So I give it West Ham. I think they should win this game easily. I think.
Yeah, this season's been a crazy one. Gary, remember talking to Charlie and said we were supposed to be where they are now in the table, and they're supposed to be, with all due respect, where we are. And they would have been happy with 10th. Charlie would have been happy with 10th.
Yes. I mean, as we said, I think as long as they lose to us, I'll be happy. So the only way that's going to happen is if they have a good game. So I do believe it's going to be a draw, though. I do think it all depends on which one puts West Ham in the best situation. Do they come back from two down, or do they jump out ahead and United does what they always do? You know, pull them back in. So I'm going to say 2-2 draw. Yeah.
And I was watching the Hammers chat yesterday, and all of the panelists were quite confident about gaining points against Arsenal. So we'll see what happens later this month. I think they're good enough to maybe get a draw against United, but I wouldn't obviously be surprised if United win that game. Last one before we get into the North London derby on Monday: Wolves versus Liverpool. Tony,
Wolves.
woof. What?
I said Wolves.
You said woof.
I said Wolves. Damn it.
They're going to beat Liverpool.
I just said that.
Okay, Sam.
That's right.
I think it'll be a draw in this one.
Alonso.
Wolves, Liverpool, right?
Yeah.
I think Wolves win this game. I think it'll be a close game. I think that Wolves will win. Ray Anderson said 2-1 to Wolves.
2-1. I got to see Liverpool coming back at some point. They've got to do it. I think Liverpool are going to beat Wolves. Wolves are not the team they were last season.
Right, but they have talent, right? So
yeah,
Third one's behind us, right?
Yeah, and Liverpool are points ahead of us. I just do think Liverpool. Ray doing you bad, Tony. Don't fuel that fire, Ray Anderson.
He is not your Ray.
Ray is sunshine.
He's doing Ray wrong.
All the time.
Ray's getting no love from Ray.
Nope. Gary, Wolves versus Liverpool. Did you ever say?
Yeah, no, I haven't said it yet. No, we need to be able. It'd be nice to be able to, have Liverpool not get any points this weekend, but it's going to be tough. Coming off they went 1-2-0, right? So maybe they'll be tired. So I'm going to say a draw. I'm going to say a draw.
Okay.
That's a draw.
All right. That was all of the games. Now let's get into the North London Derby. Sam, I'll start off with you, Sam.
Could be a tough
Hey,
game.
Playing out
Tough
from the
game.
back. Playing out from the back, we got to change our approach just slightly for this North London Derby. We got to vary it up a bit. I'm not saying abandon playing out from the back, but I do think that we need to switch it up and become less predictable.
Well, if we play the way we normally play, we're just going to play straight into Mourinho's hands, unfortunately, because he expects us to play out from the back. He expects us to have a possession-based build-up, and that's what he beat us on before. The counter-attack. He just soaked it up, counter-attacked us with Kane, and that was it, wasn't it? So, I'll tell you what, this is going to be a very difficult game, not only because, as you know, form and everything like that always goes out the window in a North London derby. It's always about who wants it more on the day, the events on the day, what happens, who has the luck, who doesn't have the luck. But I'll tell you what, they're in form at the moment. That's the problem for us, because it looks like they've got Gareth Bale working now, and he's going to be going against our headless chicken, which I don't really like the prospect of. And and they've got Moura going well now as well, and then you got Son and Kane who are just producing everything for them. So their front four is going to be very difficult for us to handle, especially down their left. Which is, if Bellerin plays, this is the thing. How can you play Bellerin against Gareth Bale? I just don't get it. I really don't get it. I really hope he doesn't play. Anyway, we'll see. But
blockhead Lego thinking.
And but yeah, so it's going to be a tough game. But listen, if we give it everything, if we come out and we really stamp our authority, we can win. We can win. We can beat Tottenham. We're not behind them. I would say we're pretty much level on them in terms of our squad and everything. And we should beat them if we turn up.
Bargav said, "Nice, refreshing. I think maybe show today, guys. Hope we can beat Spurs. Come on, you Gunners." And I think you referred to Bale up against Bellerin, not Tierney, right?
Doesn't he play down? He used to play down there left. Bale used to play down the left.
Yeah, the last game he played on the right.
Son will be playing the left now.
So if Son's going down the left, then you've got Son. Son's a problem against Bellerin. So either way, Son or Bale.
I really see Cedric playing as a starting right back in this game. And Stan, don't worry, we're going to land this thing safely. I just don't know when.
That's Stan sees sparks.
Sail in.
He sees sparks coming out the back, so he doesn't know what's up with that. He's like, what are those sparks in the back of that plane?
Yeah.
That's Ray's unicorn parts.
Let's get Alonso's opinion, brief overview of how you see the Northern Derby going. Sam's right. Form goes out the window, of course. It's who wants it on the day. And like I said earlier in the podcast, I'm a little bit worried about revenge when we don't seem to be able to dish out revenge. But those players should be hurt enough to be able to go out there and play on Sunday.
Yeah, and I think that last game, whenever Partey was hurt, right, and he came off because he was injured or still hurting from his last injury, we need the guys who are healthy to play correctly and no mistakes. And if Zago to play, he needs to play smart, not mess up the game plan or mess up the game flow, rather, and have everyone just have one focus. That's the Spurs. We need to have someone who can take responsibility, accountability, and in my opinion, Aubameyang needs to be that leader that we all want him to be. And as Tierney goes, we need him to step up this game in particular because he could be our future captain, right? And we need everyone to be mistake free. We can't afford those mistakes again.
Yeah.
And we all know that Arteta is not going to have a player or two, maybe three that we don't like to be in our starting lineup. But no matter who's on up, we have to support him, right? Because we need this win badly, and we have to give it a go. And I think that Arteta has to take risks. If any game he takes a risk, this has got to be the game that he takes those risks in, because there has to be a reward within those risks, right? So we have to hope for the best, and that's what I'm going to say. This is going to be a tight game because both our teams aren't up to par where we should be as far as the table, but we have to give it a go, and we have to win. We have to beat them.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, Arteta has never beaten Mourinho as a player or manager, and that has to change on Sunday. A lot depends on it in terms of the league, how we're going to finish this season. I believe the two teams will finish. A lot depends on it. We've got, I don't know, there's a gap of 7 points probably. Can't remember what it was. And Gary, it's all about the matchups for me on the wings, like your fullbacks and your wingers. So I want Cedric and Saka to combine on the right hand side, and Tierney. But who are you putting on the left side? Realistically, it's going to be Pepe or William.
On the left side.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So when I was
Or
thinking about,
maybe, sorry to cut across you, maybe Emil Smith Rowe.
well, yeah, when I was thinking about this game, I
Another
was thinking,
boomerang.
He's going to be the striker.
yeah, I don't think Baming is ever coming back to the left. We have too much. I mean, I don't think it's ever coming back. I mean, yeah. No, I think we have too much. We have too much on those wings now, where we have enough depth and we don't lose as much. So, I was thinking, who's gonna, if Emil Smith Rowe is healthy, is it going to be Emil Smith Rowe? Is it going to be Erdegaard playing in that middle there? But I mean,
Maybe.
also for me, I want to see Partey redeem himself from the last game. Be able to play. It looks like he's not going to be able to play 90 minutes, which is disappointing. So if we can give us a good 60 minutes, I mean, I think we'll be okay there. We're going to have to be. Saka and Tierney, I think also. I mean, I'm hoping to get something out of them in this game. Are they gonna rotational put a rotational files on Saka? I don't know if they do that. If not, then he's gonna have a little bit of freedom there. So I kind of feel like, yeah, we should get something out of this game, and Arteta needs to do right. So I'm expecting hopefully to see Cedric, Pepe, and I mean, I would like to see Marie and in there for Louise, because I don't know when Louise is going to blow up. So I know that's not, this is not a game. I don't want to. I would want to limit those. We're going to have Xhaka probably in the middle, right? So, I did see somebody say El Nene in the middle.
Partey and Xhaka. It's going to be Partey and Xhaka.
Yeah. So, no, we should get something out of this game. We need to. So we need to play like that. It's just that we never see that kind of mentality from the players. Like just the mentality when they get into a game like this, where they need to show up. So yeah, it would nice to see. It would nice to see a rusted Emil Smith Rowe healthy and ready to go at full peak, energy, and ready to give us 90 minutes. I mean, he's probably going to be tired after 10, but or tired looking after 10, but yeah.
That's just the way. That's his
just the way he looks.
The way he is. The socks will be down around the ankles, all of that good stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I'd like to return the favor and get the a 2-goal win for us. So.
Yeah. As Stan said, Emil Smith Rowe has been rested. He should also know about the importance of this game coming through a hill, and he has to start, Tony.
Hey, he won't get a start over William. He won't get a start over Odegaard. I just don't see Arteta starting him. I wish he would. I'd put Odegaard and Emil Smith Rowe in front of Partey and play a 4-1-2-3, but we're not going to play it.
I think he will actually go with the 2 10s, Odegaard and Emil Smith Rowe, and 2 strikers, Aubameyang and Saka, who can actually weigh in with goals from the right side as well.
Well, we've We played a 4-2-2 a lot today, but the Bomberang was way too far off to the left for half the game.
What do you think with the lineup, Sam?
Yeah, I think you're probably right. We're going to see a lot of the familiar faces. I just hope Cedric, since he's been rested, well, it looks like he's been rested, that he gets to come in. I would also like to see Smith Rowe come in, play together with Erdegaard, like you say. They can fit in up front. But yeah, unfortunately, Xhaka's going to be playing, probably likely Louise as well.
Mm-hmm.
And that is going to give us cause for concern, because those two players will likely make at least one mistake between them. So, it's going to make things difficult for us. And that's the thing with Arteta that pisses me off is, he likes to make things so difficult for himself, by doing these silly choices. So yeah, that's probably right with the lineup. Yeah, I don't think you're far wrong there.
These are the games where you can endear yourself to the fans, Alonso. I saw Torreira do it in this fixture under Unai Emery. 4-2 win there. Torreira's first goal for the club.
Yep.
Alonso.
I think he's stuck.
Yep.
And froze on us again.
Frozen. Hopefully not like our defense on Sunday.
Hopefully not.
Sorry, Alonso. It's probably hugely frustrating for him as well. That fan
Alonso's
is
doing a lot of
increasing
Twitter
things for
trade in
him.
this show.
All right, we'll begin to wind things up here, Stan. So get the cars ready at the end of the runway, and we'll see what happens. See if we can land this thing.
See if we can
Pretty
get
well.
our landing gear down.
See if we can get our landing gear down. Sorry, Alonso. It's probably frustrating.
Hi, Alonso.
Any words for the North London Derby, Alonso?
Yeah, so I mean, like I said before, I think with the way Arteta has his sons of Arteta going around,
Sons of Arteta.
it's like it doesn't make
Have a new
sense.
TV show.
It doesn't make sense.
Heckler.
It doesn't make sense for us to keep on playing the same players that don't produce the way we want them to, And it sucks because we've seen how these players perform in big games, and they don't perform the way we want them to, right? But they had them stop playing to mess up. They had to play to win games and to win.
Don't want that.
They had to win to play to beat Spurs, right? But they don't do that.
Yeah.
And Xhaka, we paid this guy so much money. He's improved, yes, but he does these weird things where it gets me in trouble. So just hope for the best on Sunday.
Yeah, definitely. Gary, it's a must-win game. We're going to start climbing up the table and get above Tottenham, 7 points between the two teams. We're talking must-win. It's a home game, and for us to improve position, like I feel we will from last season, it's a must-win. We won't go there.
How long have you been saying this, Ray? How long have you been saying this?
That conversation all day.
How many must-wins have we had, Ray?
I don't know.
How long have you been saying we should be climbing up the table? We're still in 10th.
Yeah, we put the afterburners on, and we've risen from 15th to 10th, but we're stuck in 10th.
There's no rungs on this ladder. We ran out of rungs.
Listen, I think we'll leave it there. It would be very wise of me maybe to leave it there, right, Gary?
Yeah, no, I mean, we have to win every game. It's not that it's a must win. We just have to win every game. So that's it. The must win or
You're
whatever.
ready for a press conference with that phrase.
We have to win every game. And my phrase is we can win every game. We just, there's certain plans and things. Luck has to go away in some cases. So
it is what it is, Gary.
That is true. It is what it is.
All right. So listen, we will be doing a pre-game podcast. Come and join us for that. We will announce the lineups live on Sunday, and we will have a post-game podcast as usual.
Oh no, it's been a while since we've watched one. We've done that, Ray.
A pre-game
Yeah.
and post-game.
Oh man.
Pre-games are fun.
Pre-games are fun when you try to analyze the
Stifle
lineups.
Lego Man's lineup.
All right, Tony, did we do justice to your grandmother with this podcast of 2
Yeah,
hours?
it's nice and feisty. She likes feistiness.
you were
She'd love
certainly
Sam.
feisty.
Her and Sam would have a good steak together. Her and Gary would be having some beers.
Damn
Be
right.
wondering where the fuck Alonzo is coming in and out. I'm not sure what she'd think of Irishman.
Was she a patient lady?
Yeah, she is pretty patient, but definitely didn't want to cross her. I remember as a kid, one of my friends would piss her off and she'd go chasing him across the neighborhood with a broom.
Nice.
You'd have to watch out for Grandma and the broom.
That's a great story. That's a great story. So if anyone didn't know, Tony's grandmother passed away a couple of days ago. So I asked him if we should do a podcast or not. He was fine to go ahead with it. And we're going to kind of do this podcast in her memory, and so pay respects in that way.
She'd want us to keep carrying on because she lost all three of her kids before she passed away. So she's always strong and tenacity and just kept moving ahead.
It's awesome, Tony.
Yeah. So definitely respect for that, and good stuff. Come on, man, and she'd be patient for me with the long outro as well. Come on, man, she'd have to be patient to put up with Tony.
No, I think she had the broom out. You'd be ducking the broom, going, "Hey, we gotta go."
Only thing she ever tried to attack me with a telephone. Once my cousin, I was sitting in my bedroom and he kicked me in the head and I went running in there and she's beating me over the head with a phone. The phone cord in there was like 30 foot long, so she had the phone running across the living room. My cousin hid behind the bar and she's sitting here hitting me over the head with the telephone.
Those are great stories, Tony, and things to remember her by, and I think we all have bonds with our grandmothers, especially.
Did they hit him over the head with a telephone though?
Well, I'm sure lots of people have had skirmishes with their grandmother, but yeah, probably not. The grandmothers are usually the ones who, look out for you. You know what I mean? So
Ray's grandma was chucking potatoes at him.
I was her favorite. My grandmother. I was her favorite, and Irish family. There was 4 of us, and there was my cousins. There was 5 of them. So all of the parents would go down out to the pub, and she'd be sat trying to watch us, like 9 of us all across. Yeah, and she was from the west of Ireland, so she'd use what was called a Sally Mistress, which is basically a stick. Sally Mistress was a stick, and you get hit if you got out of line. You get hit by the stick. But
Yeah.
I always avoided it because I was the favorite, Gary.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say my
What did
grandmother.
an accent sound like, Ray?
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say my grandmother's story was my mom. This is back in the days when you could just put your kid on a plane and pay an extra couple of bucks and send them anywhere around the world. You can't do that now. But I did travel a lot when I was little, and one of the trips I took was I went to my grandmother's in Guyana, and every so often I think my mom would call to see how I'm doing, and my grandma was like, "He's killing the chickens," and basically I was playing with the chickens. And, I grab them by the neck and, their necks don't work when you start shaking them. So, so they were.
Gary, were you choking the chicken?
I didn't even know what it was, but yeah, and it was fun.
First time you ever did it, Sam.
Choking the chicken.
First time for everything, right?
There you go.
I bet he didn't know that would happen when he choked it, right, Sam? My gran left. She had a farm in the west of Ireland, and my gran left the house with a knife and came back with a chicken.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I didn't quite connect the two of them till later. You know what I mean? So, off with the head, Sam. You know.
Yeah.
No, my dad had a my dad with his grandparents. They're a bit old school, and I remember my dad telling me a story when he was a kid. They stayed for a while. He stayed for a while with his grandparents, and he had this pet rabbit. And unfortunately, what he didn't know, he was out for a day, and he came back in, and all of a sudden they're having a nice meal, and it's all enjoyable, and he hasn't seen his rabbit all day. So he's like, yeah, that was a nice meal. And we just had your rabbit because the rabbit had passed away, and because they're old school, they're used to not just throwing away food when you've got food. They decided to eat the rabbit for dinner, and my dad didn't know about it until after. Oh my god!
Time for rabbit stew.
Yeah.
Don Juan, please accept our condolences for your grandmothers, for your loss as well. So, but it's also nice to probably talk about these things and have stories. Tony, she will live on in you in the way you carry yourself and the things you do. You'll be reminded that's what she taught you and all that stuff. So.
Yep, and I'll finish beers. She'd always leave half-empty beers in the morning. There'd be 4 or 5 half-empty Coors cans because she didn't like the beer getting warm. So she'd just go grab another one.
And did you finish them off in the morning?
No, when I was a kid, I'd pick them up in the morning and put them in the trash. If I splashed them on myself, I'd hate the smell. So I always told myself I'd never drink beer, but I.
You grew out of that.
You grew out of that real quick, right? Yeah.
Yep.
All right, listen.
Out drinking, grandma drinking Heineken's and Dos Equis.
As Stan said, you don't mess with Jamaican nans. Nope, Stan, my dad was the one with the strap. I'm still in California. I love to tell dopey stories. When I was Lottie, she would literally say, Stan, you want some comfort.
It wasn't comfort. It wasn't a drink. It wasn't a drink.
Yeah.
It's better than a cottonwood switch.
I guess the question is, did you get to pick with did you get to pick the switch?
Cottonwood switch is steam. Ouch.
We do appreciate everyone who's watching. It's kind of a different podcast in light of it's a memorial to Tony's grandmother, but I'm glad that Arsenal picked up the win. We didn't sour it by a defeat or a draw tonight. We move on to the second leg in good shape. There I say we've got 1 foot in the quarterfinals. Can I say we've got 1 foot in the quarterfinals, Tony? 1 foot, get it?
Puns.
Huh?
Bringing the puns.
1 foot in the quarterfinals, Sam. You'll take that?
Yeah, I would say that.
I think we still need both feet.
Yep. Alonso, thanks for joining, Alonso. Gary, Tony, and Sam.
Thank you.
Cheers, lads.
And we'll get out of here. We will see you at the weekend, and thanks for watching, everybody. We do always appreciate you watching live or on playback. And until Sunday, we're out of here. Come on, you goonies.